Hello.
Hello, friends!
Hello. Hello.
We're back! Woo! We
I,
got
I,
a sub!
I
Hell
think
yeah!
I think that's the perfect words, but go to the usual. Good morning, good afternoon, and good.
Evening!
Yes, get in, get in. We are
Oh, did you
back.
guys miss us? Did you guys miss us? I know y'all did.
I
I know
know.
y'all did.
It feels like decades ago, doesn't
Dude,
it? To be fair.
it does for real, bro. Like, seriously.
To be fair though, did you have a nice break from the podcast?
I did. I've been working on my D&D game. That's coming along very nicely. It's
Yeah.
good stuff. Yes. So who we all got in the chat today? We got Kel, we got Reese, we
Oh,
got BC, who's a new follower on my channel. We got Basie, we got Usagi, we got Lucky
you got
Luciano.
everyone?
Oh my god, we got a party. I'm all about it. Yes,
Can't
yes,
believe
guys.
it.
I
I
love
cannot
it.
believe
I'm
it.
so happy.
I know. I've just gobsmacked in the Bish Bash Bosh way.
I
To be fair,
know, for
and
real, bro.
I tell you what, we'll put the comments in that story. Yeah.
Hey, comments are
So
going live, guys. Now Malk's above my head.
hi. Yeah. So it feels
Hey,
like there we go. Right. I was about to sub. Thanks, Retro Marine, on that.
thanks.
So wow, bloody hell. Everyone's just subscribed. Massive,
I know,
unbelievable.
I'm all about it. Hell yeah.
So fair play,
Guys, we're
fair
back.
play. I
How cool
know,
is this? Back, man.
and new stuff. Even though we're doing similarity stuff, aren't we,
New shit.
trans?
New
To be
shit. Yep.
fair,
Now newish.
and as you can see at the bottom, we've got the new scroller at the
The
bottom,
ticker on the
the
bottom.
new
We got our
ticker,
own little ticker now. Yeah, the
and
bottom
and
thing. You're right.
it's not going to be. Yeah, well, we might keep it there for the foreseeable
We'll
season 3.
see. We'll see. And there
If
might
it,
be something that particular that we want to announce on the ticker.
yeah.
Ah, love you too, Retro. All the love, buddy. Good to have you back, Retro Marine. Thank you so much. I'm
Oh,
glad
I
for
was
the
going to say.
sub.
I was
We
going to
got
say
subs from
thanks.
Reese, Kel, Usagi, Basie, Luciano, and Retro Marine. Heck yeah. Sub party.
Oh, mad.
What?
Mad, to be fair, absolutely insane.
I'm
And
excited.
I tell you what, I think everyone's all excited. We've had some new changes, as promised from you
Yes.
guys last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's been a few discussions. Yes, we've had tire tireless hours, shall we say, of trying
Yep.
to sort out for season 3. And
True.
fair play, fair play to trans.
Messaging.
Um,
Hey, Malk, you got a second? We need to talk about the podcast.
and this
Like
was
5 or
last
6
minute.
times the last month. I've been
Yeah.
trying to get a hold of you for 5 or 6 times this last month.
Yeah, it's been. I will be honest. It's been a
For
bit
real.
hectic with obviously with Christmas and then with New Year and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
work as
totally.
well. So it's kind of like a bit of a mixture, shall we say? But I've been guessing that was the same for you, Trans. To be fair,
Yeah,
from
it's been
your
pretty crazy
side.
for me too. D&D has taken up a lot of my time since I'm DMing. I have to have everything ready for the game every Monday, so that's taken up a lot of my time. So I've been busy, even though I wasn't doing this, guys. I've been busy. I've been putting in some hours in streaming. I've been playing new games this year. I've been getting things ready with the D&D game. I've been running that for 22 weeks now.
22 weeks.
Tomorrow, yeah, 22. We've had 22
Mad,
episodes
but
of the D&D game.
mad that is. To be fair, and
Yeah.
but it's still mad.
No, I'm not. Wasn't a knife threat, Reese. It was unintentional, and I didn't mean to. Okay.
In quotes, wink, wink.
The
As
rest
well.
of the rest of our viewers are going to want to hear that story now.
Yeah, they probably will now. Even myself, I want to hear that story. To be fair,
Well, we'll tell the story and during like maybe Ask Say Anything or something. We'll see.
it'll be the essay moments. I could sense that happening again.
Oh, I've got some announcements because I've got some new shit going on in my channel too.
Oh yeah, okay, let's
I've got to
hear
share.
it.
It's gonna get so you guys see the stream elements just popped. I now have a Patreon. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to probably use that to do like edited videos and stuff. I want to start doing that. I also might port some of these videos. So I kept all of our seasons. So I'm going to probably put season 1 and season 2 on my Patreon as well. So you guys can watch that. There are 2 tiers of subscription if you want to subscribe to my Patreon. There's a $2 tier, $2 a month. And I thought that it hit the first of every month, but apparently it doesn't. It hits the day that you order, because I had my first Patreon Monday, and it was
okay.
person will be charged the 9th of every month. So I don't know. So we've got that going on, and the $5 a month subscription, if you want to subscribe to that Patreon, when I start doing videos, you guys have early access to those. I won't. Now, this Bish Bash Bosh podcast is a little different, because like I've already got seasons 1 and 2 already saved on the YouTube. So I'll probably just upload those to the Patreon, so you guys can rewatch those on Patreon if you want. We have a Discord that's from both of us. Bish Bash Bosh Discord, if you haven't already joined, join it, because it's awesome, and I think you guys will enjoy it very greatly. And if you enjoy being here with us every week, you'll want to know what's going on, so that's the place to go. What else do I have? Oh, I have a partnership with W Energy. So
nice.
if you go to w.gg and when you check out, use the code TRANSNATION, you get 10% off. Jitterless energy, no sugar, no filler, no maltodextrins. All that good stuff. It's everybody who's in the community has been freaking amazing. I absolutely love the community. They're great. They all say the product is amazing, and that's the reason why they partnered with it. So highly recommend it. I haven't got a chance to get my stuff yet. I will soon. I meant to get my stuff today. I got a payout, so I was going to pay for one, but they were sold out of something, so I have to wait. But yeah, so that's my new stuff. And on my channel, I've got a whole bunch of new games and stuff in the stream. So I don't know if it'll kick since we're doing the podcast, but it might not. But my normal streams I haven't seen them yet. No, I haven't seen them. Hang on a second. I've got to get to my channel. Hang on. Because I don't have the channel up, Reese. I'll get to them in a minute. On my channel, on my page, under my actual account, I have the Stream Raiders game. I also have Pokemon community game now. So people come into my channel, that's a thing. I don't know if it'll pop this time, but my usual streams it will. So let me go to my channel, because I didn't see the hydrates, Reese. Don't be mad at me. And you guys want to hear me for a minute. Sorry, guys. There we go. Cool.
We do apologise for any technical difficulties from
a little bit of echo. I'm sorry.
Bit of an echo on
Where
that.
are the hydrates, Reese? I don't see them, buddy.
Oh,
I haven't seen them yet.
It might be earlier on.
How many did you do, bro? How many did you do? I don't see them, dude.
So
you redeemed one. Okay, he redeemed one. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for any new ones. Okay.
Redeemed.
So I've got the channel up now. There we go. All right, here we go. One hydrate. Woohoo!
So if you're new to the podcast, or an existing person that's been in the podcast for over 2 seasons now, you should know that any hydrates from the Twitch channel, wherever you hydrate during the live stream, we will honestly, nicely just drink one sip as best as we can.
And we both will do it. It's not just one or the other. It doesn't matter whose channel you do it in. We'll both do it.
But if we've got a guest, they have to do it as well. That's the rule. That's the only rule that we have. But unfortunately, I know I'm probably saying unfortunately.
Actually, we don't have many rules. Actually, you're right. Sorry, I think I was like, how many rules do we have, dude? We have many.
I've lost count. I've lost count of everything, to be fair, throughout the seasons, because we've added stuff and then we keep forgetting last minute on that one. To be fair.
Yeah.
But personally, I mean, without you guys, as I said that, without you guys, without it, there'll be no podcast, and there'll be no banter, there'll be no Bish Bash Bosh moments as well. So, and we took a long, hard thinking of doing season 3. We do apologise if you hear any dog barking at the background.
Yeah, Akihime is new to my household since about June of last year, so she's going to bark at every little noise she hears. Akihime, come. That's why on my tag it says puppy cameos, because she always makes her presence known. She's okay. She'll deal with it.
Beep boop. Beep boop. Yes, absolutely, Reese. Beep boop indeed. As I said, we had a long discussion about what we're going to do with season 3 of the podcast, and we agreed we're not going to do the 20 episodes. We're not going to go longer. We agreed, and because of this, because of the time frame that we had last year, because of differences and everything like that, we unfortunately have to decrease the amount of episodes from 20 to 15. So 15, you're going to lose 5 episodes. But during those 5 episodes, it's more of in case something happens to either me or Trance during that
Stop.
time. I know some of you guys are not happy with that, especially Reese
Enough.
as well. But
Sorry, I'm talking about me.
unfortunately, no, it's all right. It's all right. But like I said, it's more for just to ease off and try to be as best as we can for you guys.
And the
And
best thing about that is, though, guys, even though you're losing 5 episodes, you'll get 2 seasons a year for that because it gives us a little bit of a break time in between. And I have 2 weeks that I have to take off during the fall because of
yeah,
mandatory work. But it gives you 2 seasons a year. You're not going to miss that. You're still going to get it. We're still going to be here. No, not 30 episodes in a year. Yes, so you'll see 30 episodes in a year, and we'll
30
still have
episodes.
some downtime. Yeah.
Yes, and we ain't forgot as well. We was meant to do the extra content from last season. We still haven't had a chance to do that yet, and also for the rest of the other episodes, for the rest of the new seasons coming up, we don't know what we're going to discuss because it's just exclusively on Spotify and or for the Patreon side of things
Yeah.
for
I
trans.
might release the Bish Bash Bosh podcast like the next day on Patreon, and
Yeah,
then like I'll release it on like YouTube like a few days after that because I do the game. Excuse me, the D&D game. Oh, puppy is just going crazy. I do the D&D game
yeah.
on Tuesday or Wednesday, so I'll probably make that my release date for the Bish Bash Bosh podcast to YouTube. So if you get on the Patreon on the $5 a month subscription, you'll see it like Sunday. So I'm gonna try probably and release it on the Patreon first on Sunday, and then I will wind up releasing it on YouTube. I'll export it to YouTube like Tuesday or Wednesday. So you guys will get a few extra days if you guys do that. I think I know what it is. I think it's the boyfriend's deliveries. I think they're here, and she's going crazy because they're pulling things out of the trucks.
I was going to say, do you want to try and
I'm gonna
sort
go
it
handle
out?
that real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's all right. So while
Call on
trans
you for now, Malk. I'll be right back.
no pressure then. Absolutely no pressure at all. But yeah, like I said, we agreed that we will do 15 episodes a season. But the bonus of it is, as what Trans said, is there'll be a break in between, and we will guarantee to have at least, or at most, 2 seasons. So 30 episodes, as you said, Reese. So that's doubling the hype, but it just gives us a little bit of a leeway. To be fair, so just have to wait and see how everything plans out. Oh my days, Reese, what are you doing? No, Reese, what are you doing? No, stop, stop, stop. Oh no, have fun. Thanks, Reese. Thank you very, very much for that. I'm not telling her. I'll probably tell her later on, to be fair. So, Reese has just done the hydrate. Save your counting. It's 10. Yeah, I've had to double check again just to make sure you haven't added another one afterwards. But basically, we are happy to be back in the season 3 of the podcast, and it's give us a bit of a relief and refresh for the upcoming season as well. So, but like I said, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be we're definitely going to have the guests coming in as from episode 2 onwards. You might see a few episodes where we might have double the streamers like we did before. So we have to wait and see. To be fair, RTK, how you doing, mate? You all right? Hope you came well. It says today is a great day because City lost and Liverpool got humiliated. Bish bash bosh. What a way to say that. Absolutely bish bash bosh moments. I'll tell you what, there you go. But yeah, it's just insane in the membrane. And like I said, Trans has been eager to try and get this all sorted. We've got the new I couldn't say what's the new trigger at the bottom. So I'm going to leave that. It's kind of like we might put more stuff in, like episode 2, 3. We'll have to wait and see. But that's the new ones that we have done. Hopefully, Trans will have her magic to get herself back into on screen, which she has done as well.
The thing is too heavy. I can't bring it in. It's too. It's the
It's all
sofa. I got some
So,
hydrates. Holy shit! Let me see.
unfortunately, Trance, I've
I
got to
don't
do
see
10.
them.
I've got to do 10.
You got 10? Okay.
Yeah. So
All right, let's go. Let's go.
I haven't started yet until you came back.
And welcome, RTK. Good to see you again, friend. Oh my God, you guys are
1,
amazing.
2, 3. Oh my God, 4. 5. 6. Oh my God, 7. 8.
8.
9. 10.
Oh God, I'm belching like crazy today.
You
The
might
sun
hear
drop is
some
gonna kick
burping.
my butt.
You might hear some
There it
burping.
goes. It begins. And it begins.
Oh, I
And it's
haven't
good to see
started.
the Pokemon is picked up, so that's good. So you guys
Yeah.
can play Pokemon while y'all are chilling.
RTK.
Sounds terrific with your eyes closed. Oh my God, RTK.
Lol. Also, as Trans said, we have added some new features to this season because for the podcast, we have got ourselves a new Discord, as you guys requested and pestered us numerous times. In the future, there is a Twitch channel set up, but we haven't published it yet because we want to try and do this season as us two with the separate channels, and then hopefully after season 3 into season 4, all being well, we will have the new Twitch stream. So it'll be just one stream. It'll be similar to this, but it won't be on our channels. It'll be directly to the Bish Bash Bosh podcast channel, which will be only on there as well. So, I mean, we've got a lot, and I say that we've got a lot to catch up on, to be fair. So, I think
make sure you follow it. Oop. That belt just came a little too crazy. It came in a little hot.
That's what she said. That's what she said. It's back.
We're back, guys. We're back. Season 3, bro. Yeah, make sure if you haven't already, you go find the Bish Bash Bosh podcast, and you do follow that channel, because going forward in the near future, we're going to set things up so that everything will go to that channel. So
yeah, so as I said, this will be the last season for me and Trans to be on our own channels.
Yeah.
But this time it'll be going to that channel. I'm doing the hand signals for the guys who are not
and
listening.
I'll probably see if I can get those downloads from you or something, and then I can put those on the Patreon so that they're there too. So going forward.
Don't you worry, sunshine. Everything will be fine. I say that for the last few weeks, and then it doesn't work out well. I have to remember that now. So I have to wait and see. So, as I said, we've got a lot to catch up on, and from yours, you caught up with your updates that you did. To be honest, from my point of view, I've done bugger all, just more or less.
Trans has been on that grind, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Trans has been on that fucking grind, okay.
Like I said, the swearing and anything that we do is fucking fantastic. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah, it is.
They can't exploit anything on our channels, which is good.
We are mature content, you guys. Buckle up.
Mature like cheese.
It does get crazy. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, it gets crazy sometimes.
Absolutely. We're gonna do what we normally do. Each and every single week that we used to do back in the day, or back in our days.
We're getting back into the groove of it, guys. We're getting back into the groove.
I love it when you say that. I love it when you say
Why are you looking to your side? I'm below you, bro.
I am drinking Thatcher's blood orange drink. That's why I'm looking that way rather than looking down. That's why it doesn't always gonna work. I'm blaming Reese wherever happens.
It's all Reese's fault.
Yeah.
For all those hydrates, bro.
So the first part, well, not introduction because we've already done that.
You didn't tag it.
I didn't tag
you forgot to tag the introduction, man.
I know.
We're a little rusty, you guys. It's a little bit.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. By the time we hit episode 15, we'll be fine.
Probably back in the groove. It'll be all
but
good.
That'll be the pissed up moments because that was always the last episode of it. So we'll just wait and see how everything.
Oh, I know you're trying to help, Atris, but we don't do those bots on these channels, buddy.
Sorry, unfortunately, you're gonna have to reject.
Got that.
Just bear with me a sec.
Thanks for the offer, though.
I love it when they say, "Yeah, I'll give you some offers." And I'll tell you,
Lowest price than any other competitor.
yeah, and then I'll just tell them to piss off after. To be fair, uh,
I got a notification on my computer. Someone
no,
liked a comment I made on one of my reactors pages. It's like ding out of nowhere. Just got tring. Should have been timed perfectly, man. Didn't work. Is that on YouTube or where is it? It was on
that's
Twitch.
on Twitch. It's on my channel for some strange reason.
Got you.
You
need some mods, bro.
You can tell I haven't touched the Twitch for a very long time. To be fair,
Reese's Hydrate on my channel. We got one. Excuse me.
I knew something was not right. So there we go. So we do apologise for that. But basically, what we're going to do is the usual 3 segments that we used to do, which is our usual PC console news, and then I was going to say season 2. Segment 2 will be. You can tell we're rusty.
You're really rusty.
I really am. That's why I'm just gobsmacked that this is going to happen. I knew it as soon as I started the stream. I said to Chance, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew. I was like,
he was preparing.
Yeah, I was preparing for the shock of it all, shall we say? But basically, yeah. So there'll be segment 1, which is the PC console news. Segment 2 will be the main discussion topic, which could lead from the segment 1 news, or it could be a separate article that we have found. Obviously, we normally have the interview with the streamer, but because we haven't got that, we're going to go straight into the Ask Us Anything part.
Which, an extra long Ask Us Anything, like we did last time when we were just us. Before we did a longer Ask Us Anything, as opposed to doing the streamer interview stuff.
That's absolutely fine. What we're going to do is, I know we should have discussed this at the start, but do you want to do the first 2 trans, and then I'll let you do the rest of the news and the main discussion? Because I think you're more. Is that all right?
That sounds good.
I think it's just because. Well, actually, I'll do the first 3, and then you do the one of the
short
news
one.
Because the dead. Yeah, and then the main discussion topic, which is a big one, because that will be more in depth.
That's more along what affects me and other people that have my interests. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's best to give you that one. So here we go. First article of 2023 on season 1. Season 3, episode 1. Going back to season 1 now. Not really.
We time traveling?
Time traveling, yeah.
We've made significant progress since season 1. I'm just going to say, let's not go back there, okay?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think we've done quite a lot.
We've done a lot in 2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah. You just don't realize it after 2 years.
Until we rewatched the episodes, and I'm like, damn, we've come so far.
I know, the grey hairs kick in, and then the old age with the beard, and then the beards for me just grows into an Amish moment. You never know. Right, first article of the year, and it's our favourite. It's always our favourite. It's
our favorite. I really think somebody from PC Gamer should watch our show and literally sponsor us, because we get so much news from them.
I did not say that. They
should. PC Gamer, we're waiting for your sponsorship. Hit us up.
See, every time when I say sponsorship, Trans says, "Oh no," shakes her head. No, you're not meant to say that.
I'm saying we're not connected yet. We could be.
Well,
we could be.
Yeah.
We could be connected, PC Gamer. Come on.
Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored. You are deadly right there, Reese. You're deadly right. So we have to wait and see how everything plans out at the moment. So, an article from PC Gamer. PC Gamers Game of the Year Awards 2022. So this is more, I think, of a catch up of the games from last year. That majority that we probably covered, unless I'm mistaken, Trans. Most of it that
Well,
we probably covered anyway.
some of
But
it we covered, some of them, but not many of them. But this is actually their particular Game of the Year awards that is done by their editors. So
absolutely.
when you
So
when you read the article, it'll make more sense.
yeah, I'll try and be as explanatory and best as I can. So I do apologise. I'm still rusty, and anyway, you'll be fine.
Good.
Each writer at PC Gamer nominates up to 6 games, and that becomes the shortlist. A decision is made on the game of the year, and 13 other games they feel are deserving of an award. Once chosen, the categories to specify what each did best are chosen to reflect the games, which is why the awards change every year. That's a bit dodgy and a bit
No, because they pick the
like,
games they liked, and then they say, okay, well, why do we like this game? What is the reason why this game was great? Like
yeah,
they say, okay, what was our favorite? Like you would pick a game, like one of the top one is Guild Wars 2 for best ongoing game. Like why did you suggest why did this win? It's because we think it's one of the best ongoing games out there right now. So that's the reason why. So they pretty much they do the categories. They effectively want to describe why they picked that game. So
yeah. As Trance mentioned one of the awards already.
why?
No, it's all right. No, I think it's best to explain on the best out ongoing game, which is Guild Wars 2. So well done to them. Fantastic stuff. The best strategy, you know this, Trance. You've seen the sheet, so you know what's going to happen. But
Yeah.
the best strategy was gone to Total War Warhammer 3, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
very surprised, to be fair. I think there was quite a lot of other strategy games that they've like gone up there,
Yeah.
but I mean, I've seen how Warhammer works. I've seen it in real life, but
Yeah.
not. I haven't seen it that much on the PC side. So
From what
I
I
know.
hear, Warhammer 3 is pretty awesome. So, from what I've heard from people who have mentioned it, it's like, oh, you should check out Warhammer 3. And I'm like, why? And they'll be like, oh, it's a really great strategy game. I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I'm not big on strategy. So,
So I have to wait and
thanks,
see.
but no thanks.
Yeah. So I have to wait and see. Reese has done a hydrate, but I'll do that after this article, mate. I promise you that I'll do the hydrates after this article. And I know he's going to stack up that hydrate. I can sense that.
Mhm.
Best
Oh,
early
yes.
access is the Disney Dreamlight Valley. So that is really good from the Disney point of view.
Yeah.
Best roguelike is the Vampire Survivors. Ooh. Ooh,
We should have to check that out.
yeah, we'll have to check. We'll have to check some of these out actually.
Yeah.
Best puzzle game, which is the Strange Horticulture. So you
Hmm.
pronounce it. Best sandbox is the Teardown. Best RPG is Persona 5 Royal. I know some people like. I don't know whether I could not remember last season whether they either Persona 5 fans or
Yes, we did have
hated.
some Persona 5 fans. We did have some
So,
Persona fans last
but
year. Yeah.
that is good. So the best RPG has won by the Persona 5
Yeah.
Royal. So well done to them. Best design is Card Shark.
Hmm.
So well done to them. Best co-op is Monster Hunter Rise.
Monster Hunter Rise was on the Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if it still is. And I love the Monster Hunter series just in general. So I really wanted to play Monster Hunter Rise, but it was only on the Switch. So
Yeah, I,
I couldn't
s-
play it. And I
I
guess
s-
they released it on the Xbox and now it's on the Game Pass, or it was. I can check and see if it still is, but I want to play it because it sounds really cool.
well, I think I remembered mentioning about it because someone played on it for like constant hours
Dude,
and they
yes.
absolutely loved it. And then
I played Monster Hunter World
yeah,
for hours, and it's great. But when Rise came out, World kind of lost interest because everybody was going to Monster Hunter Rise, the new one.
yeah,
So, but it is a really really good co-op. Even World was a good co-op, so I can understand how Monster Hunter Rise would have won.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know a few people absolutely love the Rise series, and
Mm-hmm.
sorry, the Monster Hunter series. And I can't believe I said Rise. I meant to say
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter series, but it was a bit strange that they did it just for the Switch only instead of like
Yeah,
the other consoles and PC, which I would have thought they would have expanded. But
well, Monster Hunter Rise was available for PC, but like the release when it first released, it was for the Switch, and then it became available for the other stuff. As far as if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was, and then it became on the Xbox Game Pass, the PC Game Pass, which I have,
yeah,
and I really want to check it out because I haven't downloaded it yet, but I know it's going to be a massive download.
it'll probably be about 200 or 300 gig. I wouldn't be surprised.
I know it's been 200 gigs, but it's going to be a pretty big download.
Well, you never know. You never know in this stone age. From
Even Monster Hunter World was a big download when I did it.
But is it bigger than GTA though? Is it bigger than GTA?
Probably not. Probably not bigger than GTA. It's not as open as GTA is.
Yeah. So the best platformer was Neon White. I don't know if you ever played on it before. Neon White.
I have not played Neon White, but I did see that they were talking about it near the end of last year, which is probably why it won best platformer for them. And they were saying it was a really, really well done game, like as far as platformers are concerned. So
yeah,
and that's not just PC Gamer. I saw other places were talking about it too. So
I think it's just the games where you've never heard of, or you probably have, but you wouldn't expect them to win an award out of nowhere, considering there was some other good titles.
yeah, well,
The
these
way.
are all editors' picks. So the editors are probably like, when they did the articles about the games or whatever, they're like, this is why I like this game. And they had the article to back it up. But I know that there was a couple articles about Neon White saying it was a really, really good game.
Mad, to be fair. Best story is The Case of the Golden Idol.
Interesting.
Yeah. Are you surprised with that?
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
No, the way you said, oh, okay. I thought it was meant to.
It sounds like one of those casual games, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like a casual game.
I think it's more of a casual game, but if anyone who's played on it on the chat, they'll probably explain it a bit more.
Yeah.
If not, don't worry about it. Best comedy is Trombone Champ.
I've heard that is a fun freaking game.
What, trombone?
Hilarious. Trombone Champ, yep.
No, just trombone itself. Just play
trombone?
Trombone?
Just trombone? I can't play a trombone.
Oh, we'll have to do a stream of that just to see how it works. What was the game that we streamed on before that we played on?
I can't remember.
Was it that cooking game again?
Oh yeah, I think it was.
But
we played Played Up together, and we played Overcooked. We played Overcooked together.
Yeah, but it was that play up, wherever it is.
I've heard Trombone Champ is really good, Reese. Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
We'll have to check that out and try and do something different. So this is where the build-up has come up now, because we've got two games left. One is the runner-up, and one is the actual winner of the Game of the Year for PC Gamer Game of the Year Editor's Edition as well. So, Game of the Year runner-up was Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised because didn't that came out like late in the year though?
Yeah, it did. It came out later in the year, I believe.
So it's madness. Absolutely madness.
So it must have had some really crazy following on it then. It must have had some crazy highly positive reviews on it.
But
for the editors to choose as their runner-up.
But this is the problem though, because if you output the games near the end of the year, they're just going to pick the latest ones at the time and not pick.
Not always. Not always.
No, but that's the best. But that's like a bit of an advantage, isn't it? At the end of the year.
I guess if it's a really, really good game near the end of the year, then yeah, maybe. But I mean, it probably really surprised them with how good it was, most likely, and it has overwhelming positive reviews, most likely. So.
Yeah, and the big one for Game of the Year.
Drum roll.
Smacking my legs.
That was terrible.
Yeah, no, you can't hear it.
I can hear it.
They can hear it, but not me. Well, not them anyway. But here we go. Game of the Year was gone to Elden Ring.
I am not surprised. Everybody's been playing Elden Ring, and remember when we had the E3 episode, and I said this game looks freaking amazing. Remember?
Yeah,
I am not surprised that one game of the year.
I will
Not
be
at
honest.
all.
I was expecting you to be on it 24/7, and
I
probably
don't
wouldn't even
have it. I haven't been able to buy it. It's expensive. It's like $60
for the standard.
for the regular game. Yes, the
That's
base
mad.
game is $60.
$60.
I mean, it's worth it. I haven't. I don't have it gotten
You will buy it. You will
it.
buy it.
I
You
want
will.
it. I still want it. I have friends that play it. I'm like, damn, I want to play the game so bad. Probably saying so and so's playing Elden Ring. I'm like, shit, I want to play.
Lol. So it's just insane, to be fair. And what was it now? Oh yeah. The list of the editor's personal picks can also be found in the article. So if you want to find out what the other editors have picked, you can check out the article from that PC Gamer.
Like their personal number ones. So
yeah. But overall, based on the results that we've seen, is Elden Ring, which
what the shit
not
was
surprised.
that? My computer just went crazy for a second. Hang on. We good. We okay. We hanging in there. All right. Be back.
Trance, we might have a problem. Unless
Why?
Malk will have a problem, and then that's when I hear the computers come on afterwards.
Hang on, Mal. Give me a second.
When you hear no voice,
difficulties, bro.
when you hear no voice, that's it. You know something's not right. So we have to try and make sure Trance is okay afterwards. Reese, I am not happy with you bombarding with these hydrates on mine. I'm dreading how many Trance has got.
How many you got over there, Malk?
Do you really want to know?
Yes, I really want to know.
I've got another 10.
Another 10. Okay, we're gonna go to the juice for this, guys, because he's taking it easy on us. He's doing 10 at a time. He's got a whole bunch ready on my channel. He's already told me how many he's got on my channel. So let's go to the juice for this one.
I've got the cider again, which is probably gonna kill me after.
You're gonna make Malk drunk over here, guys.
1,
2, 3, 4 in stereo. 5, 6. That one took a minute. 7, 8, 9, 10. I do have a cooldown. You're right, Reese. I never took the cooldown off.
There you go.
Nobody gonna bombard me with hydrates today.
1 can down, another can to go on that. So, Trance, I'm just going to say this. I'm so sorry for the disclaimer, whatever happens on this podcast.
We apologize in advance, guys.
Oh, no,
If Malk gets drunk tonight, we apologize in advance.
Reese has put another. I could do more. He's put.
How
Reese.
many more? You need to put your cooldown back on, Malk.
I will. I'm not Reese. I'm gonna have to stop these hydrates on my channel. He's done another 10. He's done another 10.
Another 10.
Another 10. Right. No more now.
This is what happens when Malk doesn't come back to his channel and prepare for the Bish Bash Bosh podcast, forgetting that Reese is one of our regular viewers and always gains points in our channels. So
fine, no more.
No more.
Yeah.
Let's do our other 10. Let's do it quickly.
No.
I'm doing my 10.
I'm glad you're doing your 10. Hang on.
2 for me. Now we're caught up. 3, 4, 5. That was perfect. That was in sync. 6, 7,
Right.
8. Take it easy, Malk. 9, 10. I'm already halfway through my juice, bro.
I'm already halfway.
So now we know. Now we know that one of these bottles right here is about 20 sips. Don't get him sick, Reese.
I'm not doing any more, Reese. No more hydrates on my channel. Stopping it now. If I see any more on my channel, I'm not going to do it. Oh, I'll have to follow it from chances, to be fair.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
So,
Put your cool down back on for next week, Milk.
yeah. But Reese is like, yes, I'm not doing any boring.
Aw, thank you, Reese. Thank you for protecting our milk. Thank you. All
Thank
the
you.
love to you, buddy.
Thank you
All
very
the love
much.
to all of you guys. Thank you guys for being here. By the way,
Absolutely.
love you
So,
guys so much.
ironically, another article has come from PC Gamer.
Yes.
And guess what? Guess what? It's another article from PC Gamer.
Yes.
GTA 5 players play tribute to departed rally driver Ken Block in the best way possible with sick swords. Pardon me.
That sounded so cool.
Oh,
That was like the coolest timing ever. Yes. Yes. All right, continue, Malcolm. Sorry, that was perfectly timed.
to prove I have not said it right, I'll say it again. GTA 5 players pay tribute to departed rally driver Ken Block in the best way possible with sick stunts. So if you didn't hear that in the burp way, I'm so sorry.
We start talking in burps. We have our own
Oh,
code,
oh,
bro.
I could do that, but it could kill me. This year began with a tragic death, with the death of Ken Block, legendary American rally driver who did Jim Canna stunt videos.
Gymkhana.
Jim Canna.
Gymkhana.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell. I'm crap with pronunciations. I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's why he usually lets me do a lot of this stuff, guys.
Yeah. The stunt videos, which have accrued hundreds of millions of views. Fans of Block in the GTAO community made their own in-game video via PC Games and in tribute. The video was made by the Tutto Auto Group and is filled with references to Block's videos from the Gymkhana ones. The stunts are recreated perfectly, and fans of Block in the Reddit community have also pointed out other little details in the video. The fan video is made without the use of mods of any kind, relying strictly on the in-game cars and some skill. The video has been met with great praise and a few thousand upvotes. One Reddit user commented, "I think if he was here, he'll be proud of you all." Another complimented the quality production, camera work, driving, and some of Ken's iconic moves. Now, I want to say before we start the stream, before we carry on with the article, us at podcast, all around the world, we are deeply saddened with the loss of Ken Block, who was a fantastic rally driver. I think he won many titles back in the day. And if you don't know what happened to him, unfortunately, he got killed in a snowmobile accident. Correct me if I'm wrong. And with a driver with that so much skill and so much experience, it's not nice. I mean, we've seen like footballers, soccer players, like sports people or famous people who have been be remembered for the rest of our lives is no longer here at all, and the way that other people contributed, like GTA 5 players, and that's what. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure Trans will say the same words as what I will say. It is without doubt great that we've got gamers who acknowledge the work that a famous person as Ken Block did in the rallying world with the stuff that he did.
Absolutely, 100%.
I will be honest, I have not seen the video, but if I was one of the community and watched it back, I'll be dead proud of them, because it's a way of saying thank you for all the memories, thank you for everything that you've brought to us, and to be fair, that's what I love about computer gamers, because like all people want. It's like charity events. They give up their time just
Mm-hmm.
to see some, you know, either memory or like something to contribute to a charity or someone else, and it's something that is stuck into their minds. And like, you know what? High five to them. Well done to them.
Absolutely. And it makes me very proud to be a part of a community of gamers that would pay homage to a famous person like that who gave a lot of his
Yeah,
talent and shared it with the world. And it makes me proud to see gamers coming together
yeah,
for a common cause like that or for a charity event. And it's like, yeah, I'm a gamer. That's my community. That's my people. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me proud to be able to say that.
yeah, absolutely.
I was also impressed that it was done without mods. Like the video was done without mods. That's pretty awesome because a lot of times you get the mods to have the really cool abilities and stuff like that. But this one was done just with just the in-game cards and with skill. And the mod cards are usually going to be really good for stunts and stuff like that. But no, they did it with just in-game cards, which is really cool. And I'm not gonna lie, Malk. When I saw this article, I thought about you because I thought about your interest in F1 and other racing games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Malk is gonna like this article, I think.
yeah, yeah. I think because we all love GTA. We were still waiting for GTA 6 in 100 years' time. From
It's in development, so I don't know when it's coming out. We'll see.
yeah, that's what I said, in 100 years' time. Which will probably next day when we
If it
go on.
wasn't in development, it'd be 200 years.
Yeah, yeah, probably 200 years, knowing our luck, to be fair. But it's just nice, and especially that's that extra credit where you get like no mods to
Yeah,
do that as well. That's freaking awesome. In your
that is.
words, Chance. Freaking awesome. To be fair.
Absolutely. Like that's
Uh,
mad respect right there. You know what I'm saying? That's mad respect.
yeah, and
And
I
mad
will.
skill.
Yeah, and I will say it again. Uh, mutual, like condolences to the family and
Yes,
friends of
absolutely.
of uh, of Ken Block, who sadly passed away recently due to a snowmobile accident. Um, I'm not sure if they're going to do. Hopefully, they'll do like a minute silence or something in the rallying world. Hopefully, anyway,
Yeah.
in the near future. But it's
Unless they
still.
already did one,
But I mean,
maybe.
like for I don't know whether they could do it from now or like for a few more, just to
Yeah.
hit this. Like I remember Colin McRae. I don't know if you ever heard the name Colin McRae. He was another former rally driver who was back in the late 90s, I think it was, or mid 90s.
Hmm.
But then he was so popular. Then about I think it was about 10 years ago, 5, 10 years ago, he sadly passed away. But it was like a rally driver who stepped up again and shared memories and stuff for everyone to remember. Like, yeah, this guy's good. This
Yeah.
guy's even better. This guy is just this guy. Absolutely epic.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, and this goes for anybody. This goes for anything,
Yeah,
racing, music, art, whatever. Talent recognizes talent. And it's always how it is. Like these talented GTA racing players, these talented GTA Online players that did this with just their skill and just the in-game cards, just the
yeah.
in-game cars, not cards. I don't know why I had a D on
Cards.
that one. That was weird.
Cards.
Just the
Yeah.
in-game
We're playing
cars.
cards. We're playing cards now.
Actually, I found some really cool games that I'll have to tell you about later. But
Oh,
um,
okay.
but no, this talent recognizes talent. So these talented people that have the skill, even just in the game, to be able to pull off these stunts and to recreate these things that Ken Block did, is like they recognize, this man was an inspiration to many, and he was really popular, and he was like a really talented driver. So we want to honor him and pay homage to his memory by putting together this video. So
Yeah. And that's what we like about it, because it's just insane and it's just great for the community, and that's what we love about it. To be fair,
don't mind me, I'm
uh,
coughing, guys. I don't know why I'm coughing so
yeah,
much. I guess the
uh,
weather's crazy.
we'll let you off, Trans. I'll let you off with my burping. That was sweet. on the
That was actually
summertime.
perfectly timed, dude.
They'll be on the Patreon. That exclusively on the
Yeah.
Patreon.
We'll put together a clip. I'll actually make a clip of it later, and we'll put together a compilation of Bish Bash Bosh moments. That was one for sure.
Shit, the trans will be like, "Yeah, I got you now, Mark. Got
I
you
got the
now,
clip,
trans."
Milk. I got it. It's
Uh,
recorded, bro.
And you're
Yes,
like,
I intend
"Oh,
on putting together a clip of compilation videos, Reese. 100%. That I have a bunch of clips from the past couple of seasons, and of course, I'm going to do clips for this season too. If they go onto my channel, I'll download them, and I have an editor now. I can actually put together videos and stuff, and put clips, string them together, and put an actual highlight reel or like a compilation reel on the Patreon. So
so it's
it's
all
another
good.
reason.
It's
Check it
another
out.
one. It's all good in the hood as well. I got one more from my side, and there's one more article from the PC console news, which Trans will mention about of a rumor. We'll talk about that later as well.
Yes.
So, last one from me. Well, I'll pass over to Trans. The last one is from Comic Book. I'll say that again, comicbook.com.
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft or Bubisoft Plus. That's the
That's a
gaming.
whole other subscription, Malk.
That'll be it. Slicing all the money away.
That's the
To it.
waifu subscription right there.
Yeah. So Ubisoft new subscription tiers leaked online, or in my words, the Ubisoft new subscription tiers leaked online.
Bankrupt. Let's go. I love it, RTK.
It's bankrupt. Yeah, Ubisoft's bankruptcy on the new subscription tiers has been leaked online. That is not true. I promise
Not
you that.
confirmed. Not
Not
confirmed. Don't
good.
make it real
No,
news.
no, it's not. I'm just, just. Just. Oh, this is why we miss you guys. This is why we miss you. Really. So Ubisoft new subscription tiers leaked online. I'll say it normally, and then I'll do the adult version later on. I promise you that. So a new,
Developers lost $200 million on scrap game development.
yeah, absolutely. That is not true. I promise you that. A new survey from GOG shows a new list of Ubisoft tiers and asks responds. Uh,
Respondent. It's supposed to be respondents, not respondanta.
I,
I don't know
I was
where
going
they
to say
phrased
what respondanta. Like that's what I've got the words until she changed that now. Try to get out of it, get out of jail free card on that one, which they plan to subscribe to this year. The survey also lists the Nintendo Switch subscription along with the Xbox Game Pass and the PlayStation Plus subscription. This list shows three tiers of subscriptions to the Ubisoft plan. So there'll be Gold, Deluxe, and Ultimate. Currently, the Ubisoft plan offers hundreds of games on the PC, similar to how the Xbox Game Pass works. But if it is true that Ubisoft is dividing their plans up to three tiers, it will be interesting to see how much they charge for each, considering their current service is 14.99. Well, $14.99 per month. I think that's about 13 or 12 quid, which is
Yeah.
more expensive than some of their competitors' options. Not as their competitors, not our subscriptions. We haven't done that yet. It's only for the Patreons. So if you want to know. Even though the leak is through GOG, players are still encouraged to take the information with a grain of salt. It is possible the change will come later, but GOG just posted the information too soon, or someone shared it before it was ready to be made public from Ubisoft. Now, the one I want to talk to you about, Trans, have you
Yeah.
got any of the subscriptions? I know you mentioned one, but have you got the Switch and the PlayStation Plus
I
subscriptions?
do not have a Nintendo Switch.
Okay,
I had PlayStation Plus, but I no longer do. Because I
okay,
haven't played my PlayStation in like forever, so there's like no reason for me to have a PlayStation Gold subscription.
okay.
Um, but I do have Xbox Game Pass, which I keep up because there are some games on there that I really, really like playing, and I like how they offer a lot of options for the PC too. So
Do you feel like the the Xbox. I'm not the Ubisoft. The Xbox Game Pass. Do you feel like that's value for money?
Yeah, it's only $10 a month. So it's worth it in my opinion because you get a lot of options and you can download them and then they're your games. So I'm
Until they take it
100%.
off.
I love them. I love them for that reason. I love the subscription for that reason. So
Do you think Ubisoft, or in my terminology, Ubisoft subscriptions
it's a totally
worth
different company, Malk.
same company to me? To be fair, but sorry, I'll say it properly. You know the Ubisoft tier subscription. Do you think they will compete the other guys, or do you think they'll struggle?
I think that if they break the subscription into 3 different tiers, right? And they
Yeah,
make their lowest tier ain't even a player in this market, let's be real. Good point, RTK. But I think that if they break the subscription to 3 tiers and they make the lower tier like equal to their competitors, which is like $10 a month, and then have their next tier be like 15, and then their tier after that being 20, I think they might actually be able to drum up some interest into it. But
yeah.
the article, and that information came from the article. It's also my own speculation too. Just in general, it is more than Xbox Game Pass, which you get tons of games and out of nowhere.
Bella,
Bella!
hello.
First time you've heard of what? Heard of what? What, Bella?
The Ubisoft subscription.
But no, so I think if they break it down into 3 tiers and they do 10, 15, 20, then maybe depending on what the perks are for each level of subscription, they might be able to compete with some of their competitors depending on what their options are. Now, 10 would probably get you like their classic games like Assassin's Creed and a few other things they have out there. But
Yeah,
15 would probably give you more options, and you get options for like indie games that come out too and stuff like that. And I think 20 would allow you their full spectrum of all the games they have in their library. In my opinion, that's how I would think they would break it up. It makes sense to me for them to do it that way. But at $15 a month, considering that it's, I mean, maybe it's their full release, maybe it's not. That $15 a month, why not just go for another Game Pass subscription and just pay for that for $10 a month when you could get more options to play a variety of more games? You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
I just think that I feel like right now at $15 a month currently, they're just not able to compete right now in this market. But I
Oh,
think that if they did break it down, it would be better. They have by
yeah,
far the most mid selection out of the 3: Game Pass, PS Plus, Game Pass. Yeah, Bella. I'm thinking that if they were to break it into the 3 sections, then maybe they would be able to offer options for people where they feel like it's comparable to other passes, as opposed to saying $50 a month and like, well, I can pay $10 a month with Xbox and get better games. Why would I do that? Including some of the
yeah,
features that you guys share.
yeah,
So yeah, most
yeah.
don't speak to you, Bella. That's fair. That's 100% fair.
But yeah,
I always
it's
liked Xbox games more than PlayStation games. I like some PlayStation games, but I was always more of an Xbox person because they had more RPGs and stuff like that for me. But if Ubisoft is able to like kind of blend the
Ubisoft.
two,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, if they're kind of able to blend the two and give you a variety of options, I think that the 10, 15, 20 would be a good level to do. And they would have an opportunity to I guess appeal to a bigger audience. People who just want the classic games, they only have Ubisoft subscription to play like Assassin's Creed or a couple other games that they had released. They're not wanting to pay $15 a month when there's other games that are released as like a free game or whatever, and you can pay a lot cheaper and not have to worry about only having it for like a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I feel like right now they can't compete because their pricing is too much. But I think that if they were able to break it up and they were to say, okay, this is for people who like the classics, this is for people who want a little bit more variety, and this is for the people who want, all of the Ubisoft games, like Ubisoft, like avid players. It just depends.
I think it's. I think personally, I do agree with you. The pricing is too much.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a big fan of Ubisoft games,
Yeah.
then you would get it. I would.
Most people would only get an Ubisoft subscription to play a variety of classic games. The Assassin's Creed series, maybe, and even some of those carry over onto like Game Pass and other games, right? Because they
Yeah.
were released on multiple platforms, right? So they can say, okay, well, you can get this game on our platform and play it from Ubisoft. So, like, why would you pay $50 a month to get Ubisoft games when you can have like another game that's the same game that's on a different Game Pass for cheaper? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh, so
I
so,
like the Assassin's Creed series. I
y-
love Assassin's Creed,
yeah.
but that's about the only real game that I like as far as franchises from Ubisoft are concerned, or TK.
I think
And I would be a person, I'd be like, why would I pay this when Assassin's Creed comes up on other Game Passes all the time? Why would I do that? That
yeah.
makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's like contradicting of the payments of like I'm paying this much more. I know I've said
Yeah.
it loads of those muches because we don't know exactly how much the different three tiers are. They're just
Mm-hmm.
news of the three tiers of that's what they're planning to do. But personally, I have to agree with RTK. I have to agree with you as well, Trans. I think Ubisoft is going to have a struggling time
Mm-hmm.
unless they do like something that's exclusive to them that's not
Mm-hmm.
on the Game Pass or on any of the other subscriptions because
Yes.
I do agree what's the point of having paying $15 more when you could have had the same games on PlayStation Plus or I mean
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Plus I do agree there is a lot more variety, especially when you got like the retro and like uh, the some of the games like the backwards compatibility
Yes.
on not all of it, just some of the games that were coming from PS4, PS3
Yeah.
onwards coming through, and
And honestly, why would you pay a specific company that's a specific release of games, most of them that you don't even play, if you're only
yeah,
interested in one or two titles or one or two franchises, why would you pay them so much money a month to play their games and only their games unless you're going to get something benefited out of it? If they're going to break it down, then make it more accessible to a wider audience
yeah.
and have different perks to go with the different levels. And there are people out there who love Ubisoft games, and that's fine. It's okay. That's great. Whatever, go for it. More
I,
power to you. But I mean, I'm not one of those. I only have a couple titles that I actually really like.
I think if I remembered it right, I think one of them that I quite like, obviously with the Assassin's Creed. Do you remember Trials Fusion? Do you remember
I
Trials
don't remember
Fusion?
that one. No.
So it's like you're on a motorbike,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to try and balance the motorbike from A to B without
Okay.
falling off. If you do, there's like little checkpoints in between. So if you fall off in between, at least you get to the checkpoint and then go from there onwards. But yeah, I think Trials Fusion had from Ubisoft, and I quite liked it. To be fair,
Mm.
um, so we have to wait and see um, how everything plans out
Yeah,
as
we'll see
well.
how everything works out. If they go through with the breakup of the different tiers, and if they go through with how they want to do it, and they can give you perks to make it worth your while, then we'll see. But I mean, as it stands now, they can't compete. They're not strong enough to compete, even though they have strong titles. It's just it's been years since a good title came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I think unless they do exclusive content on there, then I would pay extra. But
Yeah.
if it's the same titles as what I'm already paying for the Xbox and the PlayStation, as
Mm-hmm.
well as the Switch, what's the point? I would. I feel bad saying it, but there's no point in me buying it if there's nothing that's going to be specifically exclusive to us. If you
Mm-hmm.
know what I
Yeah.
mean. So that's all I'm saying. Like I would pay that if it's exclusive and it's not on any of the other consoles or
Mm-hmm.
the subscriptions, then I would get it. But if it's the same, I'm sorry, but tough shit. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna buy it.
totally, 100%. Um, so is that everything for the first three articles, Malk, or do we have more? I mean, aside from
Uh,
what I'm going to cover.
don't worry, Chaz. We've done the awards. We've done the GTA 5 tribute to Ken Block. and
Mm-hmm.
now we've done the Ubisoft subscription, which I should have thought with the subscription sides.
I think
Trans
Ubisoft would be
hate
much more. I think Ubisoft would be much more popular than Ubisoft. To be fair,
if you're not, there's something wrong with you. To be
I'm just
fair,
saying. I'm just saying.
no, I'm just saying if you don't like
I
it, then
told
let's
you that's the waifu subscription, bro.
don't put any ideas because people may think but differently. I know you, and that's gonna happen. So that's my three articles. There's one more left, but Trans will talk about this because I haven't played on it that much, and it's more of a rumor than anything else. So, Trans, I'll pass it over
So
to
the
you.
last article we have today comes from mynintendonews.com. This is a rumor, and we're going to report on this rumor because if it does happen, then you've heard it here and you heard it from them. So there's a rumor going around that Dead by Daylight might be losing the rights to Leatherface and Leatherface, the character, will be removed. So the DVD leaks and news account is saying that Leatherface will be removed from all storefronts soon because the developer is losing the rights to the character from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, if you're not familiar with where Leatherface came from. An apparent moderator from DVD leaks Discord mentions, it's supposed to say Discord mentions. I had so many typos on this is crazy. An apparent moderator from the DVD Leaks Discord mentions that it could die to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game and developed by Sumo Digital and published by Gun Interactive later this year. Behavior Interactive Incorporated has not confirmed this information or for what reason the character may be leaving the storefronts. So if this does happen, then the leak was validated. And again, let's take this with a grain of salt, guys. This is just a rumor; it's just floating around. It does come from a parent moderator, but again, that can be anything. They might have just heard a rumor about it or something. But this is just something that, if it happens, then Leatherface would no longer be available for DVD play, which is a very crazy thing because Leatherface is one of the I guess iconic characters as far as the monsters are concerned in the DVD franchise. But yeah, I mean, we'll see if it happens, and if there is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game in development, then there is a good possibility that the character may be lost because of the development, or just they may not have the rights to it, or the game developer might be saying, "Hey, we're taking the rights to this particular character; you can no longer use it." They may have to pay royalties. We'll see, and we also have to wait to see if Behavior Interactive, who is the developer for DVD Dead by Daylight, reacts and says that what's going on with this, particularly what the reasons why may be around it, and go from there. But I've seen some DBD gameplay, and I play a game that's similar to DBD myself now. If we lose an iconic character, then I mean it has to be because of a copyright issue. It has to be. There's no other reason why an iconic character for the series would be lost. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it might be that there's a game coming up, and they might be using it for that copyright
Yeah,
image.
maybe.
Which, I mean, personally, I think, I mean, it goes two ways, doesn't it? It's just like one is you keep Leatherface on
Mm-hmm.
Day by Daylight, which brings happiness to the fans, but then DBD will have some court issues with
Yeah.
copyright issues.
And
Um,
no company wants to go to court for a copyright issue ever.
no, but then isn't DBD having the same problem with any of the other characters that could go if they've got new games coming up? Like, I don't know, like, could they have another Freddy Krueger game?
Maybe.
Could
If
they
a
have
Freddy
another
Krueger game
Jason?
comes, they might lose that monster. Yeah, I mean, any game that takes a character from an already established franchise or an already established series or something has
Yeah,
a possibility that they could lose it to something coming in development for that particular franchise by a different company. That's any company. That's any game whatsoever. I mean, that could be, it could be if you have like a skin from COD or something that goes to a game or something for a movie or something. Then yeah, they could lose it to that too. But
yeah.
It's always a possibility. I'm assuming it's always a possibility. They may be able to keep the character. They may just have to pay some sort of royalties to the actual series or something. We'll see how it plays out because, again, it's still kind of a rumor, so it's still speculation right now. All we have is just the word of an apparent moderator from the Leaks Discord, and all we have is just a leak idea. It's all we've got right
But,
now. So,
but then I'm just saying, like, if it was true, if it
mm,
was 100% true, then DBD will have the same issues with the other characters
maybe
in
if
the
they have
near
other stuff
future.
coming up, yeah.
So, but
It
then,
could be they could also do it. They could also kind of spin this in a different way too. They could also, if they had the character and say, "Get the skin now before it's gone." It could be
yeah,
like a limited thing and say this skin will be gone on this date. Get it now. It may actually drum up more interest in that skin. But if
yeah.
they lose the character completely, then they would probably have to remove it from the game completely. So
Well, yeah,
do the Fortnite route and immediately do a collab with Leatherface and release it as a free skin for the killer. That's a good point, RTK. That they could do that too. That could be an option as well. And like I said, Behavior Interactive has not responded on the possibility of this yet. They haven't said why the character might be gone. They haven't said if the character is going away. This is all speculation right now. We're just kind of like, what if this happens? This is a possibility this could happen. So let's just keep an eye out, especially if you're a Dead by Daylight player. Keep an
yeah.
eye out for this possibility of changing might be happening to the game itself. So,
I think it's just, I think personally, I think with the copyright issues, I think
mm-hmm.
once that starts, it's like a domino effect.
Yeah,
DVD will probably lose the fans. They'll lose that frustration of the fans
yeah.
where like I've lost my favorite character. When are you going to bring this back? And then we're like, well, I don't know because of copyright issues. And then
Or
they're like,
they
I'm going to
release
fork
a
out.
generic character that is similar but is not the same, so they can use a cop. They don't get charged for copyright, but they could use something that has a similar ability or whatever, or has a similar persona or look or story behind it. Because sometimes
Yeah,
plays some games do that because they can get in charge for like it being similar to it, but they can say this is not the same person. We're using our own creation, whatever, and there are ways around. There are loopholes around it, but we'll see. We'll see what Behavior Interactive decides to do. Like I said again, it's just all speculation at the moment, so we'll just keep an eye out. And if anything changes, you guys will definitely hear it from us. I'll mention it again. So
we will guarantee to give you all the latest news. Same with
because
like,
Dead by
uh,
Daylight is still a very popular game, so
well, that's what I mean. It's like
mm-hmm.
they will lose the fans. They will lose all that money. They will lose all that contribution. Once this is confirmed out, that's it. They're screwed. But
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with RTK. I think if it did go that way and something happened, then they'll have to do something like what Fortnite did, which is
Mm-hmm.
do do a route, do a collab, make sure you get the skin, and then if you
Mm-hmm.
do get the skin, that's yours to keep.
Yep.
Simple as. But I will say that there'll be a massacre, a massacre of people that'll be absolutely frustrated with the frustration of the the game itself. But again, this is just a rumor, as we keep saying, and you never know. You never know until the community says.
Yeah, and also we hear what the company says too about it.
Yeah,
And if it does happen, at least people were informed by the moderator that this is a possibility. This may happen, so just keep this in mind that this might become a thing. So, and people can't say, "Well, we didn't know," unless they didn't pay attention to the news. So,
yeah. We have to wait and see how everything
mhm.
goes in the next few weeks. Well,
So we'll see how things go.
15 weeks. We would
14 weeks now after today.
well after today will be 14, but for Reese and for everyone else, still 15.
We didn't
Uh, we
know.
didn't know.
People like
Uh,
Sarah.
yeah. So that is the PC console news of the first time in season 3, episode 1
And the
in
first
20.
of 2023. So there you
Yeah,
go. The first of our
yeah.
Bish Bash Bosh podcast news of 2023.
And now, be absolutely hyped. And this will be the first ever time we'll talk about the main discussion topic, which the lovely Trance there. I'll have to do like that. She'll talk about the main discussion. I do agree, even though she picked the articles, this one was definitely the one where it really, really ticked a few bits
Oh
here and
yeah.
there.
Oh
And
yeah. It was a trigger for sure.
that's what she said
It's a
as well.
trigger.
That's what she said as well. But yeah, that's. I think this is a massive big deal, and
Mhm.
it will be a big deal. Nothing contract wise, but I think Trans will say it in more depth.
Yeah.
So Trans, I'll let you do the main discussion topic.
Okay, so today's main discussion, this is something that directly affects content creators for the particular thing. It's a little different than our usual. We do a PC or a video game. This is more not in that purview, but it's still gaming news, and it's still huge news. So if you've looked this up, if you don't know about this, and you've been living under a rock for the last few weeks while everybody's been mad about it. So the main discussion today, the article that we're pulling the information from comes from IGN.com. And the main discussion is about Wizards of the Coast and their OGL changes, which have made creators and fans furious, screaming, it's not right that they can do this to us. Now, for those of you who don't know or who don't know anything about their OGL, D&D has an open gaming license, okay? It's what allows people, Dungeons and Dragons has an open gaming license, and it's what allows people to be able to get supplemental information, like homebrew information from creators, and they can sell it and say, here, use this for $5, get this book about new monsters or new places in the game. You can add it to your D&D 5e or 3.5. Yep, RTK heard about this, yeah. You can add this to your game and definitely just, spice up the game and make it better. Now, this is a big deal because that policy has been in effect for quite some time. And all player-made materials can be used using D&D mechanics and for use with the D&D system. Many companies have made many custom minis, homebrew creatures, NPCs, worlds, and such, and sold those merch for these particular items. One company, Paizo, created its own TTRPG system called Pathfinder, if you don't know about this yet, based on D&D mechanics, which many players have played and incorporated or merged material into their D&D games, or simply converted over to a D&D system in general from Pathfinder because it's such an easy conversion. This is why this is a big deal, because there's people that are going to be there. What the OGL, what it originally was open. People could make all these different things. They could make all these different, minis, stories, and everything, and use D&D, and they can sell it and say, here, $5, you can use this, add it to your system. And Paizo used that and ran with Pathfinder, making a D&D, I guess, sister story, pretty much set up for
Yeah,
D&D players. Now, with this OGL change, Paizo has recently said that in lieu of the new D&D OGL license that was leaked a few weeks ago, they plan to make their own EGL to keep TTRPG homebrew materials free. And TTRPG, for those who don't know, it stands for Tabletop RPGs, okay? So this new leaked document came out a few weeks, has been heavily argued by players and creators alike because it completely disregards the previous OGL and says that all creators of content that use D&D mechanics and monetize with these items will have to go through Wizards of the Coast for explicit permission. And if the company makes more than $750,000 annually on sales of D&D related content, they must pay 20 to 25% royalties to Wizards of the Coast. What's worse is if Wizards of the Coast likes their content that was created by someone, they have full right to take the content and make it their own, completely demonetizing its creator. Now, I'm going to give you an update on this in just a minute, but first we're going to discuss this whole situation. The leak came after Hasbro recently took control of Wizards of the Coast and had said in many press releases that D&D was underfunded. It wasn't making enough money off of its products, mostly because of the OGL. Some companies had said they were creating their own TTRPG systems without using D&D mechanics, such as Kobold Press, while White Hack is pulling its OGL-related materials completely. And Paizo
yeah,
has recently said that they're making, like I said, they're making their own system. They're not even going to go with D&D mechanics anywhere. They're going to go with their own mechanics for a polyhedral system. Now, the most updated information, and I'll give this to you guys before we actually discuss this big topic because it's big news. If you, like I said, if you haven't been watching TikTok, if you haven't been watching YouTube, everybody's talking about this. Even if they're not like even if it's just a D&D hobby, they're talking about it. And one of the
Yeah.
biggest concerns is like Critical Role. Critical Role themselves have made their own company selling D&D products and D&D homebrews, but most of Critical Role stuff has been partnered with Wizards of the Coast. So it's a question as to how Wizards of the Coast is going to work if the OGL changes with Critical Role, because some of their stuff's partnered, some of their stuff is not.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. However, the most recent update, this is before I made these notes, was yesterday. The most
Okay.
recent update was that Wizards of the Coast released a statement saying that they plan to stand on creators' sides and that they were just throwing ideas out and that the revision of their OGL will still come, but they're still going to try and be on the content creators' side. However, it doesn't give
Okay.
any specifications as to how they're going to do it. Like they don't say, "Oh, we're not doing this, we're not doing that." The only thing they said is they're going to do royalty free or something like that. That's the only thing they've really said in it that is actual like verbiage from Wizards of the Coast. It's still a
Yeah.
very very vague statement, and if you haven't read that statement yet, I highly recommend you do and make your own decisions. Now, as a D&D streamer, I probably won't be affected by this because my world is a homebrew world in my game, but I'm not selling merch or anything that actually has anything to do with the game. It's not like we're saying, hey, buy Pandora merch. It's not like that for me. So people who are doing streams like their own homebrew stuff won't be affected, but things like DM Guild, which does a
Yeah.
lot of supplemental material for a lot of DM games, they will be affected because they do sell their own stuff. They have their own storefront.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this because this is like huge. This is a big thing, and it's a complete shakeup of tabletop RPG, open gaming, just in general. And D&D is iconic in this particular storefront. And this is all a numbers game. It's really Hasbro fussing about Wizards of the Coast not making enough money. They also said something about Magic the Gathering. For those who don't know, who are familiar with that card game, it's a card game. And they were saying that wasn't making enough money, but Magic the Gathering's kind of dropped off the last few years. It's not picked up as much people. So that's to be fair. And Magic the Gathering had a whole bunch of like supplements and stuff that they did for their cards. So let's get your input because I'm going to save my comments for last because as somebody who's directly affected as a D&D player, I want to make my own statements from my own viewpoint. But Mal, from your standpoint, you don't play D&D, but you're looking at this as a numbers game and from the outside of what Wizards of the Coast is doing here. What is your take on this particular situation that's going on with tabletop RPGs?
From based on the article that I'm seeing, I just felt like it's a bit unfair for the D&D side. I mean, I will be honest. I do watch his streams. Watch Trance's streams on the D&D. Absolutely amazing. But I know everyone has their own D&D format, like whether it's homebrew or anything like that differently. But from reading this is like I do agree. It's more of a numbers game than a fan's reaction, than a fan's contribution. Would you say?
Yeah.
Um, I think, yeah, I think it's just more of. I think it's more. Well, the Stone Age now is more about money now. If you don't earn money, you're gonna get caught off, and then you're just gonna probably lose out massively. Um, Luciano says, "I'm gonna need a quick, short summary of what the change is." So
Okay.
basically, I think that there was a document that was leaked, and then it was basically not happy by the D&D players and creators.
I can go back over it for Luciano. That's not an issue. I can go back over what the
I,
changes
I,
are.
I don't mind. Do you want to do
Okay.
that?
So Luciano, Dungeons and Dragons has had an open game and license that has been in effect from its creation, which makes the game available to all content creators. Okay, you can make your own stories, your own games, your own creatures, your own worlds, and everything, your own campaigns. Homebrew, they're called homebrew, and you can do that using D&D mechanics and put them into your game, and you can even sell them if you want to make a little bit of cash off of them. Okay. Now, this OGL change, the 1.1, and then there was a 2.0, but they were still similar in wording. So this change, this leak of this change is saying that any company that does D&D, do they stop the ability to monetize those universes? That's one thing they're doing. The new leak document said that the creators of the content and that sell it and that monetize off of it, that use D&D mechanics, that use a D&D game and use the, say this is for your D&D game, and monetize, will have to go through Wizards of the Coast for explicit permission of using their content. And if the company makes more than $750 annually on sales of D&D related content, they must pay a 20 to 25% royalty to Wizards of the Coast. And if Wizards of the Coast likes the content created by someone, they have the full right to take that content and make it their own, completely demonetizing the creator. The creator gets nothing off of it. They say, oh, you have this campaign that you're selling and you've made this much money off of it, or you have these creatures and characters that you're selling for this particular story or whatever that use our mechanics. We like that. We're going to incorporate it into our game. It's now ours. So it's not yours anymore. So a lot of homebrew pages, they are there because people can do it with the current OGL that is in place.
Yeah.
But they would lose so much money. And Critical Role, like I was saying, is one of the companies that's made a lot of money selling merch, selling supplemental material, selling stories for D&D characters that they play on their games. Now, a lot of their stuff comes as partnerships, like their supplemental material. Like there's Guide to Wildmount, which has all the Wildmount characters that were created specifically by Matt Mercer. There's all this stuff that they have that they've partnered with Wizards of the Coast for. But there's other things they have not partnered with Wizards of the Coast. And company like WizKids Minis, if they don't partner with Wizards of the Coast and say, hey, can we make minis of your characters? D&D can say, no, you cannot do that if you don't go through us or you pay us royalties. So there's a lot of secondary companies that are taking their creations from their company that they've done, that they've sold. Pathfinder also, they would be hit with this if they don't go into their own open game and license. And they have a whole system of creatures, characters, monsters, worlds, campaigns, everything. They have their own supplemental material that's for Pathfinder, which is based off of D&D related materials. So a lot of people who play D&D usually get exposed to Pathfinder in some way. And it does merge very smoothly. So companies are only looking at short-term profits and inseparable duo. That's very true, RTK. But Wizards of the Coast saying, if you don't go through us or pay us royalties, and if we like your content, you're not going to get any money if we take it and make it our own. We're going to get the money off of it. But if you make all your stuff and you make $750,000 annually on these sales, then you have to pay us royalties of 20 to 25% if you go through us and we say it's okay. We have to approve your content first before you can release it and say it's for D&D. So it's really, and when I saw this, I was like, this is Hasbro throwing a hissy fit, really. Because D&D is underfunded, but D&D makes a lot of money from their own supplements. Wizards of the Coast, they have their own actual core materials that they sell, and their books are like 30 plus a piece. And you can get all the supplemental material through them, but there's still other people who make money off of it, trying to, doing their own homebrew stuff. They're creating their stuff not made by Wizards of the Coast. This is their creations. Say, oh, I made this world, I made this game, I made this setup for you guys to incorporate into your D&D. So it's really big news for people who are making money off of it. If Critical Role had not partnered for a lot of their supplemental material, they would be hit heavily with this. Paizo will be hit heavily with this. WizKids will be hit heavily with this, and even Hero Forge will probably get hit heavily with this. They do custom minis using D&D mechanic creatures. So anything that is copyrighted to D&D, to Wizards of the Coast under Dungeons & Dragons, has got to go through Wizards of the Coast before you can even consider making homebrew content for it. Does that make sense, Luciano? Does that make sense? Does that help you understand a little bit better why this is a big deal?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And thanks to Reese for the subscription.
Thanks, Reese!
Thank you very much for that, Bish Bash Bosh.
Bye, Reese.
What I was going to say, from that perspective, I mean, I feel bad because I'm not like, like I said, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not saying I'm a big fan. I do watch it. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
So personally, okay, hang on a second. So let's take my game for example. All right. My game is a homebrew game. All right. And I created my own world, my own characters, my own story, everything. The campaign is my own idea. So the one that I stream every Monday. So if I was to monetize on this, then I'd have to go through Wizards of the Coast for explicit permission to use the stuff in their D&D and to call it a D&D game. So I can't call this a D&D game. I can't have it related to anything related to D&D unless Wizards of the Coast says it's okay. If I was to make money off of it, if I was to sell merch off of it, if I was to sell, hey, would you like a collection of the creatures I made for this world? Would you like a collection of the description of this world? Exactly, 100%, Luciano. That's the point. That's why it's a big deal. The decision doesn't make sense. It kills the current interest in Gateway to D&D, 100%. That's why it's a big deal. But my world, if I was to monetize on my world, that was to make $750,000 a year after permission from Wizards of the Coast to use their name D&D.
yeah.
Then I would have to pay them 20-25% royalties on everything I sell. And if they're like, hey, we like your story, we like your campaign, we like your idea, we're going to take it. It's ours now. We're going to make it our own company, and you get no money off of it.
Which
So,
is downright disgrace,
yeah,
100%.
100%.
Especially when you've put all that effort into the world, into the players, into different story aspects as well. That's just absolutely damn right disgrace with that, because it's not fair for the players. It's not fair for the for the creators. It's not fair that you've put all that effort and you're like, well, they just took it with no extra pay. That's just. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Trans, but it was
No,
just.
you're good. Go ahead.
It was just absolutely crap because it's just not fair. It's absolutely not fair. I do agree with it from an overall point of view, but because I'm not a D&D fan, it's a little bit difficult to keep up with it, to be fair, with the D&D side. But I do see why did they do that? It just baffles me. But it might be in the copyright, might be other bits. This is the problem. We don't know the whole story, what they're telling us.
I
That's the problem.
understand why Hasbro is worried about the money. I get it. I understand they feel like they've acquired this company that's supposed to have this massive following, and it's severely underfunded for actual core materials
Right.
because all they have is their stuff. Now, most of the stuff you come out there, a lot of the stream games or whatever, like Critical Role, Dimension 20, a lot of those, they will make their own stories for them.
Yeah.
So, and they use the homebrew mechanics using D&D mechanics. So they're like, okay, we're making this creature using their stat block setup, using their create a monster stat block here. We're going to make this our own creature and put it in our own game with our own story and our own campaign.
Yeah.
So that it does. You're 100% right, Luciano. It kills the current interest in Gateway to D&D because the people who make the content that is not D&D core content pretty much are screwed on this, because if they can't get permission from Wizards of the Coast to use it, and even so, if they make a certain amount of money, they have to pay them royalties off of it regardless. Then, and Wizards of the Coast doesn't automatically say, "Hey, we're taking this and putting it in our core stuff," then it completely loses the interest in it. Now, Critical Role has made a comment on Twitter, and I applaud the Critical Role cast and the Critical Role company for this, because what they effectively did was they said, we're with content creators, which
Yeah.
effectively says we're not with this decision without saying we're not with this decision. And there are a lot of
Yeah.
people that will be hit hard by this, because people who are like, oh, I really like D&D. I like the mechanics of this, but I want to make my own story. I don't want to use their pre-made story. I want to make my own story and make my own creatures something that's mine, my own creation. They will be screwed over if D&D
Yeah,
goes forward with an OGL that completely negates the previous one and leaving the content free to people. Now,
it's a
like I
question.
said, D&D has
Sorry.
said, D&D had made a release saying, we stand behind the community, we stand behind the content creators and this, that, and the other, but they haven't specified what they're changing. They're saying that the leaked documents were possible options. They were not.
Yeah,
Yeah, Elden Ring D&D would be an option. If somebody had an Elden Ring D&D set up and they made a homebrew campaign and they sold, supplemental material for it, D&D could say, "We like this. We're going to make it our own core material. It's no
yeah.
longer yours."
I think I do think that's a bit harsh. I mean, oh, sorry to interrupt. It was more like, how long does
Good.
it normally take for D&D to set up, roughly?
Well, it depends on how intricate your world is. Like my world, I spent 2 years preparing the actual world itself and the idea for my campaign.
Yeah,
And I'm still constantly adding stuff, adding new cities, adding new everything. Um, but it depends on the person because some people who are much more of a veteran than I am can do it in a lot less time. But personally, because I was doing so many revisions and so many changes and little nitpicky things for my own things, like why do I like this, but I want to change it a little bit. It took me
yeah,
2 years to get the base information prepared for my story that I wanted to run. And it sat on the shelf for 2 years. My idea sat on the shelf for like 2 years. And I would come back to it and I would look and say, do I like that? Do I still like that? Yeah, I still like that. We're keeping it.
but okay. So without the 2 year gap, should we say, or if you did right here, right now, how long would it normally take to get from say you did your own D&D, you started off today
Mhm.
without any breaks, how many days would it count on the worlds, on the aging, the different characters that are available, you know,
It
probably.
depends on how intricate you want it. Like Matt Mercer has been working on his world for years.
Yeah,
He's been molding his world of Exandria for years. But he's also a veteran D&D DM. He was playing D&D with his friends. They were playing Pathfinder actually, and then they converted it to D&D 5e. A lot of people have said that they're not supporting Wizards of the Coast if they go through with this. They're no longer going to be D&D players. It's
yeah.
it's that serious. Like it's going to cause a boycott. It's going to cause a boycott of players from the game if they go through with taking this material. How do you remember all the lore from your own world? I make notes, Luciano. I make notes, bro. Without giving away anything, I've got this notebook.
She's
Just
got
like
like an essay book, so she's
yeah,
probably got
this
like
notebook has got this is all lore and ideas and things the players have gone through, and this is only with 22 weeks worth of use. I also have this right here. I also have this creation myth and all this stuff. This is from the last 2 years plus and the current games that I'm currently in. So the current game I'm in right now. So
yeah.
I make a ton of notes and we're only 22 weeks in. So
I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it, but fair play on that because
yeah.
I think if I ever did that, I'll probably just lose patience after like one day. I'd be like, no, right, no more now.
Oh hell no, Reese, I'm not burning the notes. Screw that shit. I also rewatch every episode and take notes on a document. I have like a 20-page document now. I think it is. Is it 7 or 20? I can't remember. I have to look at it. I have it's a big gap. I can't remember how long the pages are, but I have a
You,
document of summaries about everything that happened with the players. That's what I do my recaps with every week. I said,
yeah.
okay, recapping the episode previous, this is what happened. And it also tells me any particular specific moments that happened in the campaign. As schizophrenic
Okay.
beehive NPC wearing a trench coat and hat, they sell trinkets and artifacts. I kind of like that idea, RTK. It might happen. We'll see.
In the next episode of Chance, we'll find out if she manages to do what RTK does. If not, she'll lose the money. if she
Well,
did,
here's the thing too. Like, I mean, people also make their own homebrews and stuff like that, taking D&D, which is a high fantasy setting, and make it more modernized. Like they say, okay, they modernize it. They say, okay, the wizard class is now somebody who does science, which is considered magic. Or they'll do this, that, and the other, and they also make that homebrew content. And again, if Wizards of the Coast was to come across this content that was being sold or being created, and they said, we like that idea, that's now ours, that person would completely lose any rights to their own content. So,
well, yeah, they've just lost everything. It's like if you had a contract to do 2022, first day or a couple of days after you've heard, it's like, drop down to reality. It's
Luciano,
like,
it is possible you could pull up on a gang of orcs with a revolver. There is supplemental information. There is supplemental material that allows you to use guns in the game.
I'm surprised at that. To be fair, I'm
As a matter of
surprised. At
fact, Matt Mercer created a gunslinger class for his campaign 1 based off a Pathfinder concept of a particular style.
Yeah,
But he created a gunslinger class, which is one of the characters were. Percy was a gunslinger, and you can use his information for free. You can find it, or you can use the books, and you can actually find it that way too. So I think he
yeah,
has it in their supplemental D&D stuff. I believe the one they sell. So
yeah. Try and hack all the not hack, sorry. Try and get through to all the PCs and try and make sure everything is sorted before it gets even worse, and just revert his side of things, and then that'll be it. Did I hear that? Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Reese. You heard that.
RTK says D&D with my 2 best friends, Smith and Wesson. I love it.
Class.
It's doable. It's actually a thing. There actually are templates for gunslingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's actually a thing. And it's not just Matt Mercer's. There's other templates you can find too, free templates that say, here, this is an option for you to get from us. And again, if Wizards likes the content, they could take it as their own. With the OGL 1.1, I don't know how the new OGL idea comes out, because they're all going through versions. There was a 1.1, there's a 2.0. I think 2.0 had a lot of the same verbiage as 1.1, which is the original one that was leaked. And
well, yeah.
so we'll see what the other revisions are. They say they want to stand by the creators, but honestly, anything that says anything about demonetizing the creators would completely screw them over regardless. And anything that says anything about taking their content would completely screw them over. So, I mean, I understand Hasbro's worry about the money. I get it. I get the company worry. I understand a company wants to make money. They acquire a new business. They want to make money off that business. I get it. But if they keep pushing with this idea of we're going to get money off of this one way or another, then it's going to push so many people away from D&D. They're going to lose a massive collection of fan base, including people who've been playing for 20 plus years. So it's one of those things that it's going to ruin so much interest. Yeah, Hasbro does need to sort their shit out. You're 100% right, Phil.
Oh, we missed our famous words.
Sort this shit out. Sort it out.
Okay. Do you, with your passionate mention about the story trans, from your perspective, do you think they will come out of it, or do you think they will still keep going until they agree with what they actually want to do?
The response,
from your perspective,
the official response by Wizards was so fucking vague. Legit, it was vague as shit. They're like, oh, we stand behind content creators. We see that the community didn't like this. We will go forward trying not to do this. We rolled a natural 1 on this. But they didn't say what they're going to do to fix it. They didn't say what they're going to do to try and make it right. And so they still gave a lot of leeway for revisions to the open gaming license, which I think Hasbro is pushing for. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Hasbro is pushing for them to find a way to change the open gaming license so that the community is happy and the company is happy. I don't know how they're going to do that considering Hasbro is worried about the monetary side of it. If they find a way, we know it's hurting y'all and we're sending our best regards anyway. True, 100% RTK. It's pretty much what it said. But if they find a way to merge the community's outrage about this whole bullshit that they're talking about doing and the company's concerns about the money, then they will come out of this stronger. It's like we talked about Activision, right? We said if Activision fixes their shit, sorts their shit out, gets it taken care of, and is able to actually fix the problems and the source of the problem, they'll come out stronger. But I still haven't played an Activision game to this day until I know what Microsoft is going to do to fix it. Now, I did see an article that Microsoft is going to approve unions, which is a step to the right direction. Wizards of the Coast has to find a way to make the community happy and the company happy. Everyone sort their shit out. 100%, Reese. Sort 100%. Your shit out. It's 100%. Just and like I said, I get it. From a numbers game, I get why they're pissed. I get it. I see what they're talking about. But they've got to find a way. The community is not going to be pissed at them, and they're going to lose people, and then they'll still lose money because they'll lose all these people who have bought every single collection of Wizards of the Coast releases since beginning of time.
Yeah.
That want to play the game, that love the game, that have a passion for the game, but don't want to be fucked over with their homebrew shit. It's true. I mean, they've got to find a way to make everybody happy, and it's really hard to do that because if Hasbro is breathing down their neck saying make more money, and Wizards of the Coast got people saying we don't want you to take our shit, then they've got to find a way to find a gray area that works for everybody. And I think it's going to be very hard because they already do sell a lot of shit. They already have merch. They already have books. They already have a shit ton of stuff that they do to make money. Hey, Basie, good to see you too, buddy. Thank you for being here, man. We're so happy you're here, man. Hello. Thank you. All the love, buddy.
There we go.
But they're going to have to find a way that's going to make everybody happy, and that's going to be very, very, very fucking hard. Because they're like, well, what else can we do that's not going to piss off our players?
Leave it alone. Simple as.
They can leave the OGL alone, but then Hasbro is like, we want money off of this game. We want more funding off of this game. And Wizards is going to be like, well, you're not going to piss off our players. And they got to make an animated series out of their preset worlds. That's a good point, RTK. They could do that. They could also release board games. They could say, screw you, Hasbro. It's 100% right. We're starting our own fucking company. We got enough money.
It's still a Bish Bash Bosh D&D moment. You put it first.
I mean, seriously, they've got to find something that works for everybody because Hasbro is going to be pissed if they're not find a way to make more money, and the community is going to be pissed if they get demonetized or their ideas are taken by D&D and say, you can't use this anymore. It's now ours. So they've got to find a way that's going to make everybody happy, or most people happy at least. It's hard to make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, personally, I think it's just a bit of
RTK community mass buy shares and become the biggest shareholders in Hasbro. That's not a bad idea too. Buy shares in Wizards of the Coast, 100%.
So that's what Trans will be doing after the stream.
So I still gotta stay up on my W energy, bro.
Well,
I can't buy shares right now.
No, that's true. The Bundesliga tactic, spot on with that.
Yeah. They could do that. They could become a community funded company. That's possible. The company could be for gaming. They're for their community. There's just so many variables, and they've just got to find a way to tick as many boxes as they can with losing the least amount of people and the least amount of players, because D&D is huge. I mean, it's gotten bigger in the last few years because of shows like Critical Role, Dimension 20, and all that stuff. That's gotten bigger because of that. It's become to a bigger audience, right?
Yeah.
Because back when I was younger, D&D was for nerds. I'm a nerd, but I was okay with it.
I love how you said D&D is for nerds. It's like
I'm
good
okay with
vibes.
it. I'm 100% a dork and a nerd and everything else. I'm a geek.
You're
100%
not a
Reese.
dork.
Yeah, nerds and geeks.
You are not a dork. You're an amazing person.
I'm a
You are.
dork in the best way.
See,
I'm
I'm trying to be
adorkable.
polite. I'm trying to polite. And
Hey, I own it, man. I 100% own it.
Reese, I'm kind of worried when you said needs and
I think
geeks.
it was meant to be nerds and
Yeah,
geeks.
yeah. But he
Yeah.
wrote it. I'm just gonna ask him again. Needs and geeks. It's like needs and geeks. So nerds. Yeah, don't worry. We'll let
It's
you off.
still there's still so much up in the air with their vague official response and what they're going to do to come back from this bullshit. But
Yeah,
it's so there's so much un uncertainty surrounding it. And I think that makes it scarier, really. I think that makes it seriously scarier. When I think D&D, I think Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights. Haha, suck a big platform though. Baldur's Gate, actually, there is content that you can get on D&D Beyond that is Baldur's Gate based. And
yeah,
Baldur's Gate is based off of D&D. That's another company that would be hit hard if they don't go through Wizards of the Coast and say, "Can we use your ideas for this game, this video game?" And then Wizards of the Coast says no, then
took
that
it.
would be hit hard. I mean, it goes to a lot of, and D&D has been inspirational for so many RPG games, like
Oh yeah,
and stories and a shit ton of stuff that relates to high fantasy. D&D is an inspiration for so many people because it's been going since the 70s. So like it's a massive thing because a lot of companies that are their own companies but use D&D mechanics, D&D ideals, or use
yeah,
D&D races for that matter. Use races based off of D&D. They're going to be
yeah,
hit hard, and even the Elder Scrolls leeches off D&D lore. Exactly, Basie. See, this is why it's such a big deal. This is why the OGL issue is a problem. Because you can have your own company. It's completely not related to TTRPGs, games, video games, whatever, minis, whatever you want to do, or WoW, 100%. And it will be hit by an OGL licensing issue by using D&D races, mechanics, anything they've copyrighted. Anything. Anything.
Well, yeah,
It's going
that's
to be
true.
it's going to be a trickle down effect. It's going to fuck up everybody that uses D&D lore, D&D races, any of that stuff, if they don't find a way to fix it.
But then, how long is it going to take, though? That's
We
the
don't
big
know.
question.
We don't know. They said they're looking at other options now. That's what they said in their official statement. They're trying to find one that works for everybody. They're trying to find one that makes Hasbro happy and makes the players happy. And I don't know what they're going to do about it because it's a really sensitive situation.
Yeah.
I mean, they like you're right. You were saying before they could say screw Hasbro, maybe, but I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
the option that works for everyone is just saying "fuck you, Hasbro." I love it.
I love how Reese just typed it that quick. You put Has2 instead of Hasbro.
I
Uh,
love it. I love it. I
that
mean, yeah, that's the only option that's really going to make everybody happy. But what are they going to do if Hasbro still keeps hold of games? What if they're in contract? What if they're in an ironclad contract and they can't get out?
yeah. Just have to wait and see.
The companies they'll make money off of are much larger than Hasbro. It'd be pretty easy for all these franchises to team up. I wrote Hasbro and it autocorrected to that. Autocorrect, y'all.
I hate that. I hate that. Can you put if you put
It's like saying ducking instead of fucking.
Yeah, yeah. Always the number one. Always the number one.
Always. Did you
Are
get
you
ducked? I'm sorry.
just ducking around now? This is
Quit
just
ducking around.
Yeah, yeah, like ducking Hasbro. Do you know what I mean?
Hasbro not being a bro right now. Completely RTK. Casper
Absolutely.
172. What's that, Reese?
Ah, lol.
Oh, it's an emote. Got it.
What's this Casper? This is out of the
What
blue
is
from this
Casper? Oh, it's law. It's okay.
from
It's a
from D
Casper
and
law.
D from D&D to Casper. What is going on? on this
Welcome
show.
back to the Bish Bash Bosh, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
We
can't
forgot
believe.
what this is like.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I cannot believe we've done 2 hours already. Where's the time gone? Where's
It
the time
always
gone?
goes so fast. We have so much fun on the show.
I am gobsmacked, to be fair. Well, except for Hasbro. Well, has been, to be fair. So it'll be.
Everybody, boycott Hasbro right now.
I think there'll be
Support D&D. Support Wheel of Wizards of the Coast. Don't support Hasbro.
Yeah, it'll be hashtag
Still
ducking
get
Hasbro.
reads.
It'll be like hashtag ducking
Hashtag ducking Hasbro.
Yeah, or hashtag ducking has been. To be fair, but you
Well,
do
if they keep
know.
this shit up, there will be a has-been.
Well, you do know this is took over from the Activision Microsoft theory from all of last season.
New
That's
year, new saga.
New Year, new saga, which everyone's going to kick off. Why did you have to say Hasbro has been? Why? I'm like, well, it's that. Well, no, pick something else. That was it.
Yeah. Seriously,
Tough.
I mean, and we'll see how all the pieces fall. I've said that about Activision too. We'll see how the pieces fall. We'll see
Yeah.
what Wizards is able to do to make their company happy, to make their people happy, because if not, this is going to hurt the company. It's going to hurt them by losing a mass migration of players. Because Pathfinder already said they're making their own OGO. They're making content free. They're going to keep it free.
I think personally, I'm just gonna have to wait and see the next few episodes, see what update it is. Personally,
I'm watching it, guys, because it directly affects me. If I don't think I'll be a problem, I'm pretty low on the radar. Because I mean, we're small. We're not selling merch or anything. We're small potatoes. But
potatoes. Yeah.
small potatoes. You ain't never heard that phrase before? Small potatoes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or spuds. Small spuds. That's
Small
it.
spuds.
Yeah.
We're small potatoes, so I mean, I don't think it'll affect me and my game and all that. But the people that are bigger, we're not selling merch yet. 100% Reese.
But we
Not
are.
yet.
But we are selling merch.
Oh, Bish Bash Bosh is selling merch. That's right.
Yeah.
Prime syndicates of Hasbro tax dodgers. I love it, RTK. Fuck you, Hasbro.
Can we put RTK as the top fan? You know, when you go on Facebook
100%.
or top
100%.
fan for that, and then Reese, another top fan on there.
Two top fans, RTK and Reese.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got any more from that trance, or shall we go on to the Ask Us Anything part?
No, I think I've been triggered enough for one day.
Are you sure? I don't mind. We've done an hour. That was an hour.
If I go any further on this, Malk, I'm going to have an aneurysm or something. I don't want to do that on stream.
I was going to say I might as well just rest while you're ranting on, like the last time.
It's a serious rant, man.
Serious rant. Oh dear. We won't go into that too much detail. We do not want to kick off trance at the very first episode, unless it was Reese.
I'm telling you.
I'll tell you that now.
100%, bro.
Right. So that was your second segment. Now, because we haven't got the guest interview for segment 3, we both agreed to do the first episode just for us two, just for you, just two, because we didn't want to start off with a bang, did we? We didn't want to interview Trance. You wanted to interview Trance, Reese, when she knows all the questions and answers from her side. I can, if you want, but that will not be the same. It will not be the same.
Actually, it's interesting because we've never actually interviewed each other with those questions.
Holy shit.
That's a really good point, bro.
Yeah. Shall we do that? Shall we do it?
We should do it. We should totally do it.
So
yeah, I gotta pick my numbers.
We're actually doing it. We're actually doing
the universe and meaning of life with each other. That's a good point, RTK. But then we get into some really crazy, heady concepts. I don't know. I'd be kind of scared. Do trance today, and next time there's only you to interview Retro.
Or I haven't got the question because I didn't expect to do the interview
The
part.
questions haven't changed, bro.
Well,
They're still the same.
no, the numbers. I mean, like different.
Okay,
Like
hang
they're
on. Let
different.
me let
But
me let me pull up the document and I'll share it with. I'm not looking at it. I'm just gonna get the document and share it with you.
okay, thank you very
Okay, so
much.
let me. I got so much shit before that, guys. Hang on.
Sort your shit out. That's
Telling you, bro.
all. Sort your shit out. That's what I'm. That's what
Mm,
I'm thinking right here, right now. To be fair, right. Let me just try and find the questions because I did not expect it to happen.
do you have access to it? Do you still have them somewhere where you can find them? I don't know where they are.
I well, I know
Search.
stuff, and I think I have got it. Yes,
You
nice.
do. Yay. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Reflect on 2022 and cry.
So,
Yes, it's a good point,
yeah. Did I
RTK.
hear document sharing? Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
Reese. You heard
100%.
that right. So, okay. Pool of questions. Should we do the new or returning? It's kind of like a
We've never
mixture.
done them with me ever.
I
We've
know.
never
I
done
know.
either of them with me. Interview with
Similar.
the host. I like it, Reese.
I'm just going to change it now because I did not expect it to happen. You might hear interview with um
Trents.
with Trent. Sorry, I try to get my keyboard.
You guys would like to hear my story, wouldn't y'all? I'd like to hear my answers to these questions. I haven't looked at them in months, so I don't even remember what they are.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do something a little bit different.
Okay.
You probably think, what the hell's going on? What's in Malk's mind on this?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to pick 4 numbers for the new guest questions
Okay.
and 4 numbers from the returning questions.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
Let's get the notepad because knowing me, I'll probably will forget, and I'm blaming Reese because my head's gone with the drink with the hydrates. To be fair, wink wink. So, what's your 4 numbers for the new guest questions?
2,
Yeah,
8,
yeah,
12,
yeah.
14.
Okay. And between 16 and 30, what's the 4 numbers for the returning questions?
18,
18,
24,
24. 2 more.
28,
28
and we'll go back up to 16.
to 16.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to mix them up.
Hey, random generator, random mix.
Well, this is the milk generator.
The mouth
You'll watch out on this. So this is the very first time we've ever interviewed the hosts between ourselves,
That's a good point.
and I don't know. It feels weird, but also great at the same time because I like to know more of Trance's. I'm sure Trance will like to know more from my side when we do the two.
We'll have to do interview Malk later, guys. We'll do
Yeah,
another episode.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got a couple episodes already stacked with guests. We'll see going forward how many episodes we have with guests, and we'll fit Malk in there somewhere.
That'll be on episode 15, the last episode.
Maybe. I mean, I'd be okay with it.
5 segment stream. Absolutely, Reese. Absolutely. So here we go. What things do you look for when deciding on a new game to play?
So I usually look for stuff that interests me.
Okay.
Like, does it have a good story? Because I'm all about the story. And if you watch my D&D game, you see I'm all about story. I love story. Does it have a very good story? Does it look visually appealing to me?
Yeah.
Does it have something that I'm interested in? And I've said multiple times I'm an RPG high fantasy person, so I love RPG high fantasy open world story type games. So
Yeah.
that's one of my go-tos usually. There's some games that I'm like, I'm not sure if I like this game, but I play it. I'm like, oh my god, I love this game. but but then I try them anyway though. I try it anyway. But I look for like something that like speaks to my interests
Okay.
and speaks to something that I'm particularly interested in, and
Okay.
definitely with a good story. So,
Ooh. Okay. That's quite interesting, actually.
Mhm.
To me, you sound like you want to be a writer as
I
well as a
used to
story.
write growing up a lot. I used to write poetry and short stories. I was always top of my class in English for all of
Yeah.
my writing projects that I did. We had to write essays and stories and stuff. I always got high marks for them. I love writing. I haven't done it in a long time,
Yeah.
but that's one reason why I look for like story elements, because like I want something that's going to get me into the story, into the game. It's gonna like I want
Yeah.
to be invested. I want to be invested, and you've got to really kind of catch my attention for me to be invested. So that's one reason why I look for those type of things.
I know normally we're going off track a little bit again, like we normally
Yeah.
do, off script,
Hey,
off.
unscripted guys doing it live.
What she says is absolutely true.
That's
Yes.
the secret, guys.
Yeah, that's the secret. But from your perspective, then, would you rather do writing stories of D&D all the time, or would you rather like to do fiction, science fiction, or like
I
different
love
theories?
fiction stories. I love them.
Okay,
Excuse me.
I
Real
know, I know,
like
I know. It's
okay.
I know it's the build up.
It's the no, it's the soda. No. So like I love fiction, and
Yeah.
high fantasy is usually very immersive.
Okay.
And so that's one reason why I like high fantasy, because it's usually got an immersive world. I love Harry Potter stories. They have amazing characters, amazing development, amazing story, amazing world just in general. Um, if I wrote stories, if I actually started writing, I probably would write fiction, high fantasy. If I actually started writing books and stuff, but
Yeah.
I actually do want to get back into writing children's stories again, because I
Okay.
had a whole little series of children's stories based off of my late dog, the one who passed away 3 years ago,
Yeah.
in July of 2020.
Yeah.
So I actually was writing like children's stories about like a character that was based off of my puppy and all the adventures that she would have from a puppy's perspective. Like I think it was like my character's name was Luna, and it was like Luna goes to the vet, and how would she react? How would she feel about that?
Yeah.
How would she overcome that? I have a child story, a short story that I wrote recently while working at my current job
Yeah.
about a little blue turtle,
Okay.
and it has a moral and everything.
Yeah.
And that's one reason that, like I said, I wanted it to be something that kids could relate to, kids that would be interested in, but also has, this is the moral of the story. I like moral stories when it comes to like kid stories. But I want to get back into writing that again. And I've also been told that if I actually did decide to publish my little short story about my little blue turtle, then I have somebody who would be more than happy to do illustrations for me. One of my
I tell,
coworkers.
I tell you what, this is the last episode of the Bish Bash Bosh podcast. When this happens, the illustration of the new Blue Turtle book will be
I
out
I could
exclusively.
read it for you guys if you want. It's very short. It's for kids. No, I don't have a little blue turtle. I have a story about a little blue turtle.
She wants a little blue turtle,
I want a
Reese.
series about the little blue turtle. I want a series about my little puppy stories again too. I want a
Yeah.
series of that as well. So
Uh,
so
I tell you what, that Squirtle, yes,
Squirtle.
absolutely. That little blue turtle.
Now you
Squirtle.
want a little blue ducking turtle.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I want a little blue ducking turtle.
Yeah, Reese. I know what you're saying with the ducking. I
It's
know.
really cute. It's really sweet too. Like it's my manager loved it, and she loved the moral in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to post this all over the building, because she wanted to like put it in like posters and like put little parts of it to find the story.
Just
But
do.
because she
Yeah.
wanted to do it, that it's a really good little moral for kids. I think that working with kids is like a big thing, because I think about how kids see the world and all that stuff. So it's kind of gotten me reinterested in doing kid stories again. So
Well, you should do what RTK says. Just do the new episodes of Squirtle. sorted?
No, it's not. It's not Squirtle. This is a little blue turtle, and there's a
Which is
reason why he's a
Squirtle,
little blue turtle. He's not based off of Squirtle. No,
but it's still Squirtle. Still
Squirtle is
Squirtle.
copyrighted to Pokemon Company. Okay,
Um,
Squirtle is
that
copyrighted.
is Quirtle. Well, yes, Quirtle.
My turtles has its own name and everything. My little blue turtle's name is Binks.
Binks.
Binx.
Binx.
Binks.
Little Binks.
Little Binks.
Fair play. That I will be honest, guys. I did not know that Chance did her own episode, like her own not episodes of Bish Bash Bosh, but episodes of the the little turtle and like the story writing. That's quite interesting. So just wait and see. Luciana says, I once tried writing the story of Personnel 5, but the MC is a girl, and how it would change the original story. Too much of an investment, but very fun. Oh, okay.
Nice, Luciano.
See, with me, I would love to do. I mean, I'm crap with story writing. I just like to do it, imagine it as if I'm doing it. I would love to do another Back to the Future theory, but a different way, like the after effects of what happened from the first three. I don't know. I like time travel. Like I actually funny enough, during the break, during the week, during the break, I actually thought of an episode, like a 3-part episode, like 3 episodes, but like a one story, but 3-parter. So I was trying to do one where it was time travel. So basically the story. If you got time, I'll try and brief it as quickly as possible.
I've got as much time as we have.
Yeah. So
boyfriend doesn't get out of work until 9, so I've got plenty of time.
Oh, shucks, that's fine. So basically, the story is a bloke who's lost his wife, passed away, and the next day he goes to the cemetery and notices a weird bloke on the side, and he gives the option to get his wife back from the dead, like from the past. But obviously, with time travel in that story mode, has got consequences. For every hour that you're in that new timeline, you'll lose a year of your life.
Oh, wow.
So imagine if you stay too long, you wouldn't even know who you are anymore. You might be your younger self, but then you only have one chance to do it because you never meet up with this person again because it's a different timeline.
Yep.
And if you ever watch Back to the Future, if you don't, watch it.
Brilliant. I've watched Back to the Future. Yeah,
trilogy is brilliant. It's like if you change something in the past,
it affects the future.
It affects the future, but then
butterfly effect, called the butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's like if I didn't bump into you on the streams, would we have done the podcast?
Probably not.
So it's a ripple effect as well. Yep. But in the story, I was trying to do like a 3-parter where just like an origin to build up to the time travel part. So it'll be like the first part will be like the bloke and the wife getting on well and like they have a family and like and then the tragic happened and then the cliffhanger would be he'll meet this bloke, this random person out of nowhere to give him an option to get himself back. And then the second episode would be explaining the time travel theories and all the other stuff. And then the third episode is where everything changes, everything gets exploded, and you never know what's going to happen next.
I also did, when I was younger, I started writing what was going to be a book about a girl in a post-apocalyptic future where the North and the South went through another civil war, and they each became their own countries. And the
Oh,
North
okay.
thrived because of industry and all that stuff, because it's a big industry hub. Even back in the day, it was a big industry hub.
Yeah.
And the South kind of went back into an agriculture, more, type of living.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had a main character who was a girl, and she was part of a group that was doing a recon on an area in the South, but their group was from the North. So it was
Oh,
more of a
okay.
dangerous area for her. And I started actually writing that, and I don't know where it's at. I'll have to find it. But I think it's in like a folder with all kinds of really cool shit in it. But I started writing that, and I think I got 2 or 3 chapters in writing that over time, and I
Yeah.
stopped. But it was going to be a really cool concept. Like, it was I have a prologue on it where it talks about what happened and how it happened and all that stuff, and how they went to war again, and how the South was really hurt because of the war, and the North had the industry and all that stuff. So the South pretty much was affected. They became more of a barren wasteland, and the only parts
Yeah.
were agricultural areas. But it was really well thought out now that I think about it. But I wrote that a long, long time ago, and I just stopped writing it. I love writing. I like creating, and that's the thing. Like, writing was a way for me to create and to make my own ideas. That's one reason why I did the D&D homebrew campaign, because I like to create. I like to make my own concepts. Gonna write a story where Earth is discovered in Star Wars. Cool, Luciano. I like it.
I would watch that. I
I
would
would
watch that.
totally read that. That'd be great.
That'll be good. I'm so
But
sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. We went off track again.
that's okay.
From D&D to writing to understanding our new episodes coming up soon. Watch the space. Watch the space. Right. Hashtag
Please.
scripted. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right.
If
What?
anybody has any questions as to whether or not we are scripted, they just have to watch our episodes to know that we're not.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
If you don't believe me, you just watch. It'll make sense.
Do we have to rerun this? Oh yeah, let's rerun this. Oh, that's not scripted. They were right all along, to be fair. What game made the biggest impact on you when you were younger? Now, I will say one game that made you keep talking about it every time when we do the streams.
Mhm.
Legend of Dragoon.
That wasn't
So
the one that made the biggest impact on me, though.
I'm surprised at that because you keep
I loved
asking.
it.
You
I loved
loved
it.
it. That's
But
what I'm
that wasn't the one
saying.
that made the biggest impact on me.
So, what was the biggest impact on you when
The
you were young?
game that made the biggest impact on me when I was in high school, and I lost so many hours of sleep playing it, was Final Fantasy VIII. And I also played 7 a little
Yeah,
bit, and I also played 9 and 10.
yeah.
So I played 3 of the Final Fantasy series, and I loved. But I always go back. I always went back to 8. I remember I have so many memories of after hours staying up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had school the next day, so I'd be up in 5 hours playing Final Fantasy and just trying to get past the level and just putting so much into it. And it's like, I
Yeah.
gotta get past this. And then when I finally finished the game, I was trying to get better at the card game and get better at the other parts of it and get higher scores for the areas. So, like, that was the one that made the biggest impact on me. And that was, I think, one of the games, because even when I was a kid, I was into high fantasy anything. Like, I always say my favorite animals were dolphins and dragons.
Yeah.
And I used to say that I liked one fantasy creature and one real creature. And those were the two ones that were the interest to me. I've always had a fantasy interest. So Final Fantasy was like the go-to for any game that I played. That was the one I always came back to. I played Spyro, I played Crash, played a whole bunch of other games, but I always came back to Final Fantasy. It never failed. They can be vicious, you're right, RTK, and they have some very questionable habits, but that's not why I like them. I liked them for other reasons.
Funny
But I was
enough,
also in high school. I didn't know all the crazy things that dolphins did. So
funny enough, I've been starting to collect the PlayStation games, and I've got quite a
Mhm.
lot, as you've seen from the room itself, from mine, and
Mhm.
I found the whole Final Fantasy collection on PS1. On PS1,
Nice.
the original first and second, they didn't make a third.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. I think unless it was in Japanese, they didn't make the third. I think it was only on PC only. Fourth and fifth. Then I had six. Was it fifth, six? I couldn't remember. It was fourth one and seven, five, six. Then
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 was the proper PS1 discs,
I
and
don't
that.
know. I don't know why I gravitated so much to Final Fantasy VIII. I guess because I loved the female interest in it, the female character in it, Renoa. She was one of
Yeah,
my favorite characters of any video game I've ever played, and I don't know why, but I absolutely loved that game, and I lost so much time to that game.
I honestly thought Final Fantasy VII was like the most unique, popular game that you. That's what they've done a remade.
Most
Uh,
people feel that way. Most people feel like Final Fantasy VII is like an instant classic in the
yeah,
series. It's one of the ones that everybody says their favorite Final Fantasy game is usually 7, most likely. They usually
yeah.
say, "Oh, I like 7, like 7," because it has such iconic characters. Now, Final Fantasy VIII, I played 8 before I played 7, and it was
But didn't that
because
put you off? Didn't that put you off a bit with the
no,
games? No.
because it's a whole different story.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You know, to be honest, I remember playing Final Fantasy VII, but this was
Yeah.
like years, and I'm talking about years ago.
Mhm.
But Final Fantasy VIII, I can't remember. I can't remember it was the follow on. That's why I thought 7, 8 was like the follow on, and then 9 was like the follow on as
When
well.
I played 8, I loved it so much that I played 9 and 10. I got the games, I bought the games, and I
Yeah.
played them. And I didn't play 11, and I didn't play 10 too. I played 8, 9, 10, and I played 12.
Okay.
So those were like the games that I was the most exposed to. But Final Fantasy 8 was the start of all of that. It was like, oh my god, I love
Okay.
this game. I love the story. I love the characters. I love everything about it. And Squall is the most brooding dude. But I loved it. I loved how brooding he was. I love the development of the character. I love the way that the gameplay was, the UI and all of that. It was amazing. Don't play
Wow.
15. I'll keep that in mind, RTK.
I heard that. I heard 15 was absolute sort your shit out moments.
Mm,
With that, it was
yeah.
worse. I heard that. But I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to annoy RTK or anything like that. We'll go to the next question with that as quickly as possible. What was your what was your best and worst memory you have since you started streaming?
Probably the best memory was when I cried on stream. When I was streaming way
Okay.
early on when I cried on stream. I don't know if you were there for that.
No, I
But
don't think so.
I
No.
cried because I was going through a very financially troubling situation, very financially troubling time in my life.
Yeah.
And I got such outpour by my viewers, and I got like really big tips that day. And it was so moving that I got
Yeah.
emotional
Oh
because
no.
I still have the archives somewhere. But yeah, I was getting so many tips that day that I was like I was in tears because it was very touching. I think it was the $500 donation. I think that's what it was. It moved me so much because that money, I needed that money so much. RTK, you probably remember it. I had long hair. It was when I was streaming like in the secondary room, and I had like the panel background and all that. It was like way early in my streaming career, years and years ago.
Yeah.
But it really it made me cry so much because it was such a touching thing because I keep quiet about a lot of my struggles. I mean, people ask me, I don't mind talking about them, but I keep a lot of my struggles like quiet. And I was like, it was one of those things where I guess I had mentioned it or something. I had talked about something, and I had gotten such a big outpour from the community that and the donation was just such a huge amount, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I just got so overwhelmed, I started crying on stream.
I
I don't
think
really have a worst memory. Pretty much The worst memory is probably when I was like feeling discouraged because I was streaming to like no one. And then I learned later on that you just got to get past those moments.
Yeah, yeah.
But I that was like when I after the initial high of me when I because I became affiliate really fast and I had such a massive outpour. But I think it was a stream that I did that was like I think I cut it short. Yeah, I don't mess with that anymore, RTK. I don't worry about it anymore. But I think I had been doing it for a few years and I felt like I was so discouraged because like no one was coming in. And I just was like just talking and I felt like I'm like, why am I still doing this? Why am I still talking to no one? Why am I putting myself
Yeah,
out there like this? And it was probably that's probably the worst memory I have. And that was years ago too, but it was after all the other stuff. But it was yeah, those are probably the two most like the most impactful moments. I know, and look where I am now, right, Reese? 100%. Yeah, I don't worry about that. I don't worry about numbers anymore, RTK. I do it because I enjoy it. I had to
that's
learn that it's just because you enjoy it.
yeah. I do agree with RTK. There's some tips where I hate looking at the view number because it's just like, oh, I'm not getting the views of like what other streamers are getting, like 1,000 or 20,000 views. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
turn it off. Just just be you. Just
Yeah.
do just be you and just
Just
do
be
the
you and be
stream.
in the moment. That's actually good
That
advice for any upcoming streamer. Just be you and
yeah.
be in the moment. You're gonna have those zero viewer moments. Just keep talking like you have 10 100 viewers in your chat. Just keep
Well,
talking.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Be in
Absolutely.
the moment, man.
And and they'll be Ubisoft. Definitely not. Definitely not. Absolutely not, Reese. But yeah, cheers for the hug, Reese. Forgot to say. And I think he gave you a hug
Yes,
as
and
well.
thank you for that hug, Reese. I appreciate it. All the love to you, buddy. Thank you.
So, but that's what I love about it. It's like the community. It's like just. I don't think I saw it live. I think I just saw one of the replays of it when it
Mhm.
happened. I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Fair play, fair
Yeah.
freaking play."
And even
And
Alun was still around at that time, and she even came up and checked on me and gave me kisses. I'm like, baby, and it's on the clip too. It says, I was like, it's happy tears, baby. It's happy tears. Because she was worried because I was crying. I'm like, these are happy tears, honey buddy. It's okay. But yeah, she was even worried about me. And
no,
it was just a very touching moment. And it's one of the best moments I have streaming. Seriously. No question, no lies.
no questions asked, no
No questions,
issues,
no lie. Truth, no
no
cap.
lies. That'll be it. But yeah, I don't want to upset you with happy
No,
tears.
no, you're
Let's.
good. You're good.
So last one on the new guest questions. What gaming conventions do you really pay attention to?
I recently started paying attention to E3. We started doing the episodes last year. We did the E3 coverage. I
Yeah,
started paying attention to E3 more. Um, I the other ones I'm not 100% sure on. Like E3 is the biggest one, so it kind of catches my attention, and they
yeah,
cover so many of the companies. Now, if there's something specifically like, I mean, I would love to be a part of TwitchCon, but that's not really a gaming convention; it's just a streamer convention, so it doesn't really count. But I mean, but yeah, E3 usually is the big one because it tends to cover a lot of the spectrums and it's one of the biggest events of the year. And they tend to release all kinds of new information and new games coming up. And when we did the coverage last year, it really kind of caught my attention. I'm like, holy shit, I should pay attention to E3 more. Because there was so much cool shit that I was excited about with the E3
yeah,
coverage that we did. But E3 is like the biggest one. Aside from that, I don't really if I see something coming up and that sounds interesting, that someone's releasing something in a convention, I might watch that particular segment, but I won't actually watch the whole convention. I think E3 is the one that I got the most coverage off of, and it's the one I usually look forward to the most. So,
yeah. I won't tell you mine until we do our questions
okay,
itself.
okay. I think I know
So
which one of yours is. I'll wait, but I think I know which one of yours is. I think.
it's called the new Ubisoft convention. It's class. Absolutely class. There
Don't
we are.
worry, be happy. Thank you, Reese.
Right. That was the four questions of the new guests questions. They were in random order, so they weren't in the order that Trans said. So these will be the same again.
When I interview somebody, I'm gonna look at them like, oh, that's the order they were in.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be like,
I'm like,
oh,
I haven't
I'm
looked at
tr-
it since last
I'm
year. So
trying I'm trying to make it as best as I can. So you probably would guess. Right, okay. I might have to rephrase a little bit of the questions. So
okay,
it's just nothing. It mentions about what have you done since the last time on the show, but we'll go do it from the start. What particular goals have you achieved since the start of the podcast?
okay. Um, I think I feel like we're still in our goals for the podcast. There's still a lot of goals I have for the podcast and a
Yeah,
lot of things I want to see us do and us achieve. As far as like my goals since the start of the podcast, we've gotten new followers, new viewers, new people have come in. We've gotten regular viewers, which is a massive thing. I love it when you guys come in every week and spend time with us and hang out with us. I was able to, yep, Reese, you're one of them. I was able to get my D&D game off the ground. I was working on that when we first did our first season, but I was quiet about it. So I was able to get that off the ground. That was a huge goal for me because I wanted to make that world a reality and I wanted to stream it. And I was able to do that. And we've become, and it's not podcast related, but streaming the D&D campaign has brought in more interest and more people have show like, oh, this is really cool. Want to come and watch the show again? I'm like, totally, rewatch it on my YouTube, all that stuff.
yeah,
I got the YouTube account. All that stuff is ported over, but I had that before, but I started using it more. I opened a Patreon because of the D&D and all the other stuff that I want to do.
yeah,
I got a partnership with W Energy, so that was big. That was a huge thing for me, and the people there have been amazing. Let me see what else. What have I done since the podcast began? I think most of it is just getting the regular viewers and the
yeah.
people that are here with us every week, and like the consistent people who are interested in the podcast. And I always check in with you as to what our numbers are too, see where we're at as far as like the streams on Spotify and all that shit. I check in on that too.
I'll tell you what, we'll have to do a competition or something like to say
Mm-hmm.
which one's the most listened to, most downloaded, and see
Yes.
which one. Knowing everyone, they'll probably pick one and
Yes.
download loads and just pick that one. They'll know that's the favorite. To be
Yeah.
fair, but um, yeah, I think
I have a
one.
shit ton of goals for this year. Like there's a lot of shit I want to get off the ground for this year, for the channel, for the podcast, and a lot of other things. There's things that I want to do this year that I think I'm finally in a place and I have the connections that I can start doing them. Um,
Would you like to mention them to
oh
the
yeah, I can.
people?
I want to generate drum up more interest in the merchandise for the podcast as well as my channel. I want to do that. I want to use the Patreon and start, having that become a thing and start getting some Patreon, pledges.
Yeah.
I want to upgrade my setup. I want to upgrade my computer. I want to what else do I want to do? I want to really I don't want to say revamp, but like freshen up the channel so that
Okay.
when we draw new people in, we have more people who are like, oh, this is really cool. I really like your setup. I really like your idea here. And I want to do that too. I've already started doing that. I've changed my overlays and stuff. So that's already kind of a thing that's in motion now. I want
Yeah.
to, I want to get enough viewers that I can poll them and ask them if we want to change our community name, if we want to make an adjustment to that. Because when we started
Yeah.
out, that was what we went with as Trans Nation. And I'm 100% okay with keeping it if that's what the viewers want. But if we want to change it to something else, we can. I made the YouTube. I made my YouTube synonymous with the rest of my channels. My YouTube
Okay.
handle is now youtube.com/at transgamergirlttv as opposed to Sweet Miss, which is what it was before. And I want to be more. I want to make things more streamlined. I want to start using more social media to start getting more people in, so that we have
Yeah.
more viewers for the show. We have more viewers for the channel, and I want us to hit 500 viewers, 500 followers, and start having active followers that
Yeah.
are coming back over and over and over again. That's also something that's already started in motion. The D&D game has already drummed up regular interest, which is great. And I want to continue with the D&D campaign. So
Wait and see if those goals are going to be kicked in. Are you expecting all that to be done by this season, though?
I want to see if I can make it happen by the end of the year. End of the year
But
is
no
my
pressure.
plan.
Yeah, Reese, definitely a lot of stuff. No pressure.
It does,
Moment.
and my thing is, the way I see it is, if I have too many goals, okay, if I have too many goals, if
Yeah,
I can hit some of my big ones, then I'll be okay with that. I actually looked at my analytics for the channel. Okay, this is kind of a little behind the scenes shit, but I looked at my analytics for the channel, and if I was to have the 75 concurrent viewers one time,
yeah.
75 average, I would already hit partnership on Twitch.
Oh,
But I don't have the 75 viewers average. I have the hours, I have the days. I don't have the partnership because I don't have the viewers.
that's what I hate with Twitch.
Mhm.
No offense to them, that's part of the rules.
I looked at it and I was like, holy shit, I've already hit 2 of the goals for partnership. What the hell?
Yeah, I
And I
think
was just like, whoa, dude.
it's
But
annoying
yeah.
because it's like you do everything right and then find out,
One
oh,
more
shit.
thing that I forgot to mention. I want to get more subs to the channel. I want us to at least hit 15 subs one time.
Yeah,
And then I'll set a goal for subs after that. I want to hit 15 subs one time. And I think we're well on our way to that, especially with the new subs that we had this year. Today, actually, just all the 5 subs I had today. It was crazy. I think we're well on our way to 15 subs. But, and I want to find something to do to make it worth the subs time and the Patreon's time.
yeah,
So that's one reason why the Patreon, the tier 2, has like, early access videos if I start putting them on there, which I will. And yeah, and editing videos. Those are kind of goals that I have in mind. I don't expect to hit all of them by the end of the year. I expect to hit a few of them by the end of the year. So there's some that are like really big and some that are like, if I hit this, it'd be great. But it's a goal I have to at least try and hit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. And I do agree because it's like you want to become the best,
Mm-hmm.
and
I want to make the channel start moving again. That's what I want.
yeah.
That's
Well,
why I'm looking at refreshing the image, refreshing the community if we want to do that. I want to make it move again. I want to start being active again. The
yeah,
Discord, I want that to be active again. I want us to start moving forward and start getting a little more headway in the channel. That's why I'm like, this year is the year I'm going to work on that. RTK, you have Game Pass, right? Get yourself Persona 5 Royal. It's an RPG and it's popular since the game got ported to PC recently. Yes, we just talked about that. Persona 5 Royal won one of the PC Gamer Awards. It did.
yeah.
That's one of the games that won this year. The Year of the Phoenix. I love it. Yeah, exactly, Luciano, pretty much. Year of the Phoenix. I want to be reborn. That's what I want to do. I want to be a fucking phoenix.
That's what she said. Right. Next question. If there was one book series that you have read that you could make into a video game, what would it be and why?
You might know this one already.
I'm not going to say, but there you go. I'll let you do that.
No questions asked. First book series that comes to my mind because of the intricacy of the story, as well as the world, as well as the character, as well as what happens in the series. Wheel of Time. No questions asked.
Wheel of Time.
Oh, yeah. Wheel of Time. And it's like 15 books. So it'd be like a long ass video game, but it'd be a great franchise.
So
and I don't want to fuck it up like Rafe Jenkins did this year.
Yeah.
For a P5 playthrough? Cool. Persona 5 playthrough? Nice.
Can you imagine if Persona 5 did a walkthrough of
Time of Wheel.
a playthrough, Time of Wheel? Yeah, it'll be the Time of Wheel. It's like Wheel of Fortune, but like Fortune of Wheel next.
Luciano, honestly, this year I've started playing new games. Like I started playing a bunch of new games this year. So like this is the year I even most like new game this year, 2023 new games. That's kind of why I'm refreshing things,
Oh, Yeah.
Because new
Right.
games are going to draw in new viewers. So
Definitely. Ooh, which one to pick?
I want to show
Oh,
you guys something really cool. Okay, I want to show you all this before the podcast ends. I want to show you something that somebody made for me.
again, we do apologise, guys, for the people that are listening on Spotify and any of the audio podcasts.
Sorry,
Transfer
guys,
back.
that are on audio. This is going to be for the viewers only. So if you want to see this, you're going to rewatch the episode. I'm going to minimize. I'm going to share this. We're going to have a little bit of a inception moment, but I'm going to share this. We're going to do one. I want to show you guys this. I'm going to minimize this. Yeah, if you're on audio, get on video. You're right. You can find your niches in RPG streaming. That's a
Do
good
you want
point.
to put this on? Oh yeah. There
Share
you
that.
go.
Share that. I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this really cool. This is a background that was made for me by one of the W community people and is reactive. Malk, say something.
Oh my god. It's the Bish Bash Bosh with the transnation moments with that.
Yeah. It is reactive to sound, you guys. How cool is that?
Oh my god. This is madness.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's
Oh yeah, yeah. Now you guys had that moment, so we've shared that together. The voting of the
absolutely
emblem. I know, right, Luciana? The
love.
reactive BG. Yes, that's the coolest freaking thing I've had in a long ass time.
Trance is like she's not doing any work. She's just used to play on the background
no,
to do the
no, no.
PT.
I was talking to somebody, one of the W community streamers. He does that. Like he does that on his stream. He makes reactive backgrounds. And he's like, I can do one for you if you want, Trance. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, give me an emblem and I'll do it. It's like, cool. So I shared it with him. I said, I want to do the edgy logo. That's you guys who remember, if you know, you know. That's the edgy logo. We know that. I still have the modular logo, but I want to do the edgy logo because I think it's the coolest one of the two. And and he did. He did it. He had to make adjustments because it was blue. The words were blue. He's like, I can't get the words to. He wanted the words to light up, but he's like, no, we're not doing it. He had to change the color of the logo to our stream colors, which is light blue and purple. You guys know, y'all know lavender and light blue. You know how it is. And he changed the letters to lavender. And then one of the other community people was watching him do this for me and suggested he make the background the splotch reactive. And it was like, I was like, dude, that's so cool. It's probably one of the coolest things I've gotten in years. And he's like, here, Trance, you ready for this? And he shared it with me. I'm like, bro, this is cool.
Madness, to be fair. Absolutely mad. Are you ready for the last two questions?
Yes, I am.
Last two. What was a game that you didn't expect to enjoy? Sorry, didn't expect to enjoy, but ended up liking.
I'm gonna go with one of the new games I've recently played. I'm gonna
D&D.
go with
D&D.
well, actually, I'm gonna have to list a few of them. No, D&D. I knew I'd like D&D. I wasn't worried about that. I played D&D 20 years ago. I knew I'd like it.
Yeah.
I want to go with a few. I'm gonna list a few because there's like 3 that off the top of my head kind of all fall into this category, right? So one of them is Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
I played up.
So you said Play-Doh.
Up.
Play-Doh. Yeah.
One of them is Play-Doh. I didn't think I would like it. I saw somebody playing it. I was like, this is cool. Let me check it out. I'm like, well, I like it. It's a roguelike. Well, I like it. I played it. Love the game. I've got so many hours put into that game now. It's crazy. The other one is Fall Guys.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Fall Guys. I started playing Fall Guys. I fucking love that game too. And the third one that I played recently that I didn't think I would like, but somebody said, hey, do you like this game? It's similar. And I said, yes, is CSGO.
I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised you like CSGO. Because I know you like your D&D fantasy type. But that shocked me that you picked CSGO. and I freaking love you for that because I absolutely love. That I like watching the esports,
Yeah.
and they do loads of those CS:GOs. And I'm like, shit, if Trans did that and she was on there, I would give her a massive high five. Boom,
Yeah,
like that.
CS:GO, and what it is another member of the W community was like, "Hey, you want to play CS:GO?" And like, I'm not a big FPS person, and I'm like, "Do you like You play Valorant, right?" I was like, "Yeah." As I love Valorant, he goes, CS:GO is the precursor to Valorant." I was like, "Holy shit, let me check it out!" And I played it, and I fucking loved it. We had so much fun.
Uh,
Great, good stuff.
I okay. I have to
I think this is a
remember.
record for the most f bombs I've dropped in an episode. It's got to be.
Oh, freaking awesome. Anyway,
Yes, Luciano, 100%. That's why I was like, I don't know if I like it or not because I'm not a big FPS person, but I like Valorant. I like the team aspect. And I was like, dude, this is cool. And I played it. I was like, holy shit, I love this game. This is great. I spent hours playing it, dude. Hours playing it with my friend. I'm still waiting for him to play it again so I can join him. Like, when's he going to play it again? I'm going to join him. It's have a good time. It's fun.
I have to remember that.
Yep.
Last one. What is a tradition that you do, or just something that you do to hype yourself up before a stream?
Okay, so I used to play, for those who have been members of my community, the Valorant play base it is pretty crazy. They've gotten worse over years. They weren't like that when they first started playing it. When I first started playing it, I used to play the hype music. You guys
Yeah,
remember those who were in my community for the last few years. You remember the hype ass music. It was good shit. And that was the first thing. I was like, okay, music starting, game starting. Let's go. Now, I don't really have that except for D&D. D&D has my D&D game has copyright free music that I play before every episode. It's like gets everybody excited, and it's got a really cool, really epic sound to it. And when we was listening to songs to start the episode with, I was like, I'm feeling the song. Let's go with it. And I started playing it, and it's become a tradition now for D&D. As far as any other stream I do, I don't really have a tradition per se. I just
yeah.
have to get in the mindset that I'm about to go live. And I kind of I'm like, okay, all right, let's do this. And I kind of like pretty much like mentally tell myself, all right, we're doing this shit. And then I go live. You guys know I give you guys like 5 minutes for people to come in because I want people to have a chance to come in before I start anything. I don't want to jump into a game and you guys still be getting into the stream. So I give about 5 minutes. That 5 minutes is time for me to make sure I have my drinks, make sure I have my food or snacks if I'm going to have those, and give puppy kisses and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah. But the one thing I was like, I kind of like sit here and I'm like, all right, we got 2 minutes left. All right, go to the bathroom real quick, come back and sit down. All right, got a minute left. All right, we're doing this. Okay. And we're live, and that's what I do. Like that's the first thing I usually say is like, "Hey guys, it's me again. Hello, Twitch world," and that's kind of like what I do to start the episode off. Any stream I do to start getting people excited and getting in the groove for the episode the game that's coming or what's happening. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
that I thought you'd be like more pumped up, be like, "Come on, let's do this. Come on."
Let's go. Someone's drink an energy drink beforehand.
Well, or beers, or
And when I
drink.
get my W shit, I'm gonna be drinking that beforehand. That's gonna be my. All right, let's go. We got focus. We're on it.
Knowing you, you're probably drinking, and then it'll be like, as the stream goes on, it'll be like,
Yeah, Reese, doesn't it though? Doesn't it?
that explains a lot. Yeah, sorry about that, Reese. That's all I'm saying. So, that was your interview with Chance for the very first time.
I hope you guys learned a little bit more about me.
I would have done, but we haven't got much time. Remember, we haven't got much
I know,
time.
right?
So I know it feels like decades since the last time we did this episode, but interview with
We'll do an
Mark.
interview with Malk in a different episode. Don't worry, Reese.
Yeah, don't you worry, sunshine,
It's
Reese.
gonna happen. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be It won't be the questions. I know for a fact when I look at the numbers, I'll be like, there won't be the questions. There'll be different ones when Trans does it to me. I know she'll do it.
Or I'll
Anyway,
do it like an episode when we had like I've done it like twice. I've done it
yeah,
like I've like done interview twice, and you haven't looked at the questions for like 2 weeks. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right, now we doing this.
yeah. Out of the blue, and you're like, oh shit, this is gonna happen now, isn't it?
You're not going to be allowed to look at it before I do. I had to make sure you're not going to be in the document before you pick the numbers.
Shit. Yeah. I knew my plan was sabotage
Damn it.
massively. Yeah.
Foiled.
Ah, damn it. Damn it. Right. That was segment 3, which was the interview with Trance, or interview with hostess with the most. I should have put hostess with the mostess. I don't know why I didn't do that.
Aw, that's okay.
I will have to say that at the end of the stream. Normally we have an update for GTAO because Trance has retired from the GTAO. She hasn't been on
Xander
it.
and I both pretty much decided that Xander and Daya Senpai and I both pretty much decided that Xander and Olivia retired in a nice house. They have their child. They're raising her, and that's pretty much all that's going to happen with them. We retired. Yes, we retired from playing GTRP. Doesn't mean I won't get back into it later, but I mean, he hasn't been playing it, and I haven't been playing it. And then I'm sorry, Reese. Neither of us have been playing it, and we've been in a couple of different servers, and they've all fallen apart. Yeah. So we're like, we're not. We're more interested in getting into Red Dead RP again. We're more interested in that at some point. So we probably will be doing that again in the near future. But we haven't set a time to actually get in there together, and he's busy and I'm busy, and he's got D&D games and I have my D&D game, and I work a lot now because I was taking 2 jobs, guys, but I'm only doing the one now. So I'm back to those hours of my original job. And yeah, so we haven't really got a chance to actually even hang out, honestly. I keep touch with him. He has his own server I'm in. I popped in the other day and said, hey, I miss you guys. And he's like, hey, we miss you too. He's like, you're too cool for us now. I'm like, no, I'm not. I miss you guys. But I've been making new friends. So it's kind of like one of those things where I like made new connections. And so I've been dead. If you do play RDR2 RP, it's a crime to not play through the story mode. I need to play through the story mode. You're 100% right, RTK. But we have characters that are established in RDR2 RP. So in Red M. So we want to actually probably pick back up with those characters again at some point, because I really like my character in there and he likes his character. So he's more interested in getting back into that at some point. So we'll do that someday. Don't know when, but one day.
Someday, somehow.
I'm also planning on going to his wedding in October. So.
Oh, fair play.
I gotta save up money to go because it's in New York, so I got a ticket. But
how far is it?
Money. It's in Long Island.
How far
it's a few hours. Few hours plane flight.
Few hours.
Like 3 or 4 hours. 3 hours thing.
I don't know why. I thought it was going to be like more than 3 hours. I thought it was going to be like 5.
Depends on if I have a layover. We'll see.
Well,
I haven't gotten the money up yet. I told him I want to go. He sent me the invite. I told him I want to go there. I want to bring the boyfriend. He invited both of us. He's like, bring your +1, your boyfriend. I was like, all right, cool. So we're going to probably go up there maybe for a weekend when he's getting married, and then come back. So it's about all I can afford anyway is a weekend.
Fair dues. This is the last segment of the evening of the podcast, which is the Ask Us Anything part.
Yes.
Now, you guys have had, who are the recurring ones, who have been waiting months and months from season 2 to season 3. So, if you've got any questions, if not, that timer on the top left-hand side of the screen will be cutting down as low as possible. So remember that. And Reese, I have not done those essays, so good luck with that. I'm going to say to Trance, Final Fantasy 8 or Final Fantasy 15.
I don't play 15. I played 14.
I'm sorry, 14. You know what I mean.
That's a very tough question. I like the fact that Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO, but I love the story in Final Fantasy 8. So it's a really tough question. I'm probably going to have to give it to Final Fantasy 8 because it was such an impactful game on my life. So
Yeah.
no,
Ooh.
I cannot make Malk do the essays, Reese.
Thanks, Chance. Thank you so much for that. RTK says Mal Premier League predictions. Is it the matches or do you mean the table? Which one do you prefer to? And I'll put the predictions up if you want and give you a bit of a guess. May work, may not work. I don't know, but it may help. Yeah, just say, is it table? Is it fixtures for tomorrow? Is it fixtures for next week? Just let me know which one you want, RTK. Trance, have you been like eager to get yourself back onto, to get yourself back into the podcast? Have you missed it, or have you enjoyed the break?
A little bit of both, honestly. I've been excited. The last month or so, I've been trying to prepare, and because I've messaged you about it. This last month, I've been trying to prepare and get myself back in the mindset of we're doing the podcast again. We're doing the podcast again. I'm going back to 2 scheduled streams a week, which is a lot considering I work most of the week.
Yeah.
So. I get a chance, however, on slow days especially, to work on things during the week at my job. So my boss knows I do this podcast on Saturdays. So if she schedules me, I'm usually out by 2, so I can be home and ready to go by 3, or a little bit after if we had to push it back a little bit.
Oh.
But I enjoyed the break because I was able to get the D&D campaign off of the ground. But at the same time, I've also been like, the last month I've been like, okay, I gotta get in the headspace. We're doing the podcast again. I gotta prepare myself for this because it's gonna be a lot of work. So I got the D&D game, I got the podcast, and all the other shit to do. So like, it's gonna be a lot of work. I love it. I love doing it, and I love the atmosphere of being here with you guys again. I love this the vibe that we have with our regular viewers. And I'm excited that we're back. But I also in my head, I'm mentally preparing for all the work I'm going to have to doing every week going forward.
I do help. I do help. I do help.
Don't.
I know. I gave her a link that will give her all the news and everything, and then you'll find some more out of nowhere. So, but this one has got everything sorted. So you never know what's going to happen.
So RTK, in addition to that question about what you got predictions, table, winners, losers, manager sacked, the juicy stuff.
Okay. Table, if you want me to put a prediction of the top 4, I'm going to say the way it's going at the minute, I reckon Arsenal win the Premier League. I don't know what it is. I think Man City will definitely get in the Champions League. They'll be in the top 2. Man United in that form, it's going to be close between them 2 for second place. So, I mean, Man United, they're got themselves catching up, but I think Arsenal, they've only lost 1 game all season, so it's going to be difficult. Newcastle, I mean, I reckon, Arsenal, what you see is what you get. Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Newcastle in the top 4. Bottom 3, I reckon, Southampton, West Ham. And I don't know why. I think Everton might just creep out of nowhere. And I don't like Bournemouth. I'm so sorry, Bournemouth fans, but they are going to go down. But that's how I see it with the table. The League Cup, I reckon United to win the Carabao Cup. FA Cup, I'm not sure. I just have to wait and see. I can give you some predictions for the matches tomorrow, which is Chelsea Palace. Chelsea are on a bad form. Palace on and off with their good forms. I wouldn't be surprised if Palace get 1-0 or probably a draw. 1-1 or 1-0 to Palace. Chelsea, they're just having a bad form at the minute. Newcastle, Fulham, that's going to be a tough one. I think Newcastle might do it just about because Fulham are having a good form as well. But Newcastle will probably do it. and Tottenham Arsenal. I, I think Arsenal might just win 2-0. I just can't see Spurs doing well. That's how I see it for the three matches in the weekend. I hope that's enough RTK. I might be wrong, but that's just my predictions, I think. But who knows? We have to wait and see how this. I'm so sorry, Trans. Trans is thinking, what the hell am I on about with the
No,
Premier League?
you good. You
Yeah.
good. Go for it, bro. The question was for you.
Yeah. But I just want to make sure you're
You're
okay.
all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch Larvitar right now, bro. You're good.
Try and catch all those Pokemons kicking off now and again.
Yeah.
That's all I'm seeing on the
I
chat.
got it. Got it.
So, I'm trying to think. Is there any other guys? If you're in the chat, if you've got any questions, this is your chance.
Reese asked me, does Malk actually help? He does. He does help. I'll message him and I'll say, hey, I got the notes up. Look over it and tell him what you think. And he'll give me his input. And he'll like, oh, there's this article too that I thought you might want to look into. And he'll be like, here, he'll give me the link to it. And sometimes we get in a call and we talk about it on the call when we have a chance. And we just decide what we want to go with for that particular week. So he does give me input and he does help. So
Yeah, I think that'll be good. To be fair, RTK says, "Who would your representative of Earth be in a scenario of first contact with aliens?" I'm guessing that's for both of us.
I guess so. RTK usually tells us if it's for one or the other.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I don't know.
I don't know either, dude.
As long as it's not Trump or any idiot.
Oh, hell no. I would not. I think Trump would scare the aliens away. The aliens would be like, fuck that place. I would probably say, I'm serious. They probably would. Oh my God, why? They probably would. I would probably say because he's just amazing person in general from what I've heard, and because he's just badass in general and an amazing actor, I'd probably say Keanu Reeves. I can see that. I can see that.
It'd be like an E.T. moment.
I can totally see that.
With Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. I heard Keanu Reeves is an amazing person, so I would think he's just a good dude.
He could be turned into John Wick. For all we know, shoot all the aliens, first contact.
Only if they kill the dog.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
That's not even a spoiler, guys. That happens within the first 15 minutes of the first movie, so that's not even a spoiler.
Yeah. You've said it and heard it. Reese says, both, in your opinion, who does more preparation for the podcast? I will be honest, Trans does it more than I do. So there's your answer. But I do help as much as possible.
I ask his opinion too. I get the notes up and I say, what do you think about this topics? What do you think about these notes? Is this good? And he looks it over and he goes, yes, no. And he'll give me input if he wants to change something. He's like, oh, there's another article I thought we might want to cover, and he'll bring it up and we'll add it or we'll change something. We've done it before together, so no worries. He helps.
The other input I do, that's a 5. Yeah, that's true, RTK. That is absolutely true. Yeah, so in your opinion, Reese, I do also prepare because what you see on screen from our cameras, the chats, and everything with this is all through Restream, which is not free.
And that's on him. That's on
me. And also the Buzzsprout, which is what hosts the podcast audio that will go to all that Spotify, Google Podcasts, everything. So I do have my fair share on both sides.
That's the stuff you don't hear about, though. So
yeah, but that's what I mean.
That's the quiet behind the scenes stuff that he handles. He handles all that, and he tells me like the analytics and stuff like that from the stuff that he has access to. How many people have downloaded? What our most popular episode is on the list. Yeah. He tells me that stuff too. So we keep track of that stuff too.
I tell you what, I don't know if I'm still logged in. I probably have not. until I probably have. No, I haven't. I haven't logged in. Just bear me a sec, guys. Episodes.
Half the shit that we have for the podcast would not have happened without Milk. This is the truth. Like we wouldn't have the podcast set up to go to both of our channels if it wasn't for him. We wouldn't have the Twitch channel that we're going to start streaming to next season. Wouldn't have that if it wasn't for him. We wouldn't have access to all of the audio if it wasn't for him. Half the shit that you guys see that y'all don't hear about comes from him.
And that's why I gone grey, to be fair. That's what happens. There was one that mentioned about what Reese says is like Ubisoft. So Ubisoft is out, absolutely. Ubisoft is definitely out, but that's just different on that one. There was another question. I think I just missed it from Reese. Just bear with me a sec. Reese did mention it, but then there was all that text. RTK's mouth just gets comfortable. That's a vibe. Absolutely, RTK. I'll give you a high five for that. I'll give you a high five for that. Reese says both. Who's been your favourite streamer you had on so far or plan to have on?
Oof, that's a good question.
There's no favoritisms. I will say that there's no favoritisms.
I have to say that the person that I had the most fun with when we had her on last year was Fatal.
Really?
She was amazing. We had a great conversation, she and I. We had girly moments where we were like, yes, I get where you're coming from. 100%.
And then I'll get rinsed.
I would love for her to come back. That would
I
be
have
so much
asked her.
fun.
I have asked her, but I've not heard anything yet from her.
I have her on Twitter. I can probably message her too as well.
Yeah,
but
get
she
your
was
vibe.
One of my favorite people that we had on. There's a handful of them, but she's one of the most memorable because we had a lot of like moments of like wavelength moments. We were on the same page, she and I.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I will be honest from my side. I can't pick one because everyone has got their own unique ability. They've got their own.
I know who you keep asking to come back.
Who's that?
But they're not really a guest. They're just a secondary person. They're not really a guest.
Well, who would you like? Who would you like?
You keep asking me when I'm going to get the boyfriend back on stream.
Yeah.
And that's not really a guest per se. It's just commentary.
Just commentary, yeah.
He likes the banter.
that, yeah. But if you meant a streamer,
no, I don't know about the streamers, but I know you keep asking if he wants.
That's
he's
true.
Back.
I do because it just cracks the jokes out of nowhere, especially on GTA. Out of nowhere,
great.
He just like it's just madness. Personally, it's a very difficult question because I respected every single streamer that came on, and that everyone's all been lovely. They've all had a good time. We've not had one person who did not like the experience or did not like the podcast at all. They absolutely loved it from the moment that we made sure that they're okay to the moment that the podcast is finished, and then we don't disturb until next season unless they really want to come back. What the
and like I said, the only reason why I say Fatal is because we had such great moments on the stream with her, and we had a great time with her, and like she and I, we just had like, it was just like we were on the same wavelength, and it was amazing. And we were talking about all the things that we both do, and I was like, dude, I do that too. She's like, oh my god, Trent, wow. So we were like, we had moments on the episode. All the streamers have been amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love all the streamers that we have, and I love the ones we got coming this season. But like as far as like memories, that's the most memorable one, and probably the one that was like the most like on the same wavelength.
Yeah. I can't pick. I cannot pick one. I cannot pick a top 5. I cannot pick top 10. I'll just have to put everyone in. because they were
All of
fantastic.
them.
All of
All of
them.
the
All of
all
them.
the streamers.
Luciana says, "What are you still not? What are you still not buying, even if you had $1 billion?"
I got my answer already.
So,
A Tesla.
Tesla. You want a
Oh,
Tesla?
I don't want a Tesla. Even if I have $1 billion, I don't want one
Why?
because I'm not have nothing against the company per se, but like everybody's like, "Ooh, I'm buying a Tesla," and I'm like, why? I mean, I
I
respect that they're electronic cars. I love that, but
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not buying a Tesla. Even if I have $1 billion,
I
I'm gonna spend it on something else.
I would if I bought. Well, what I would do with the money is I'll give half. I'll keep half to myself, like to keep in the bank. The other half, I'll spend it with family and friends, and make sure everyone is settled. But if I had to pick a spending spree one, I would buy a
No, what are
driverless.
you not buying? That's
What?
the
Not buying.
question.
Not buying. Oh, sorry. I
What
stand
is like a
corrected.
guaranteed no? I don't care how much money I have. I'm not buying that.
Um, I don't know. I really don't know.
Because I'm very adult with my answers. If I had $1 billion,
Um,
what would I do with it? My first answer is get a house. My second answer is get a new car, a nice new
yeah,
car, brand new.
yeah.
Doesn't have to be the most expensive car, just a nice car. And like my other things are like, get things in order, update my computer, pay my bills off. I'm very adult with the answers I get. If somebody says, "Have you had $1 billion? What would you do with it?" I'm like, I do very adult things with it. That's what I would do. And I'm not talking about like dirty things. I'm talking about like things that you do as an adult. That's what I would do.
For
I'd probably
me,
have my own house built.
for me, I will never buy a rival club, football club.
Fair,
What's the
fair.
if I did, I'll just let it rot. Go to hell
Yeah,
with that. So tough shit
yeah.
with that. So, but if I like I said, if I had the money and then if it was me spending, I would like to try and buy one of those driverless cars. So like, even if you haven't got a driving license or got
Nice.
provisional, imagine you just sitting on the motorway. You've had a bad day. You've been drinking. You've got to get back home. You can't wait 5 hours for you to get yourself sober and then drive. Why don't you drive in the morning, and then sleep it off, and then by the time you get back,
Yeah.
you wake up, you're like, oh wow, I'm back home. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
And you'd always have your own chauffeur. You wouldn't have to touch the wheel at all.
That's what I mean. The way I don't know if you
Have your
see it.
own music playing in the background, just kind of vibing and just chilling. Maybe have some champagne on the side. As long as it's not a Tesla, I don't care if it's an automatic driving car. I
I,
ain't buying
I
a
am
Tesla.
seriously
But
going to buy you a Tesla for
I'm just
that.
like, I'm just chilling. I'm just vibing, enjoying my just decompressing. I'm all about
I'm I'm
it.
I'm just gonna buy you a Tesla just to see your reaction.
He's gonna do it just to piss me off. That's
Love
what
you
he's gonna
too.
do.
Love you too, Trans. Love you too. She'll just chuck it. She'll chuck a paint all over the Tesla. Like, this is what I bought for you. No.
RTK is like Teslas right now. Teslas right now are worse than their competitors' EVs. Yeah, there's a lot of competitors that are way better than Tesla right now.
Oh yeah. Or by two. Yeah, one for Trans, one for the boyfriend as well.
I ain't driving it. He won't drive it because he don't have a license. I ain't driving it. I've been giving that bitch away or selling it.
Okay, driveless Teslas. Driveless
Here, a
Teslas.
brand new Tesla, untouched. I'm going to trade it in for a different vehicle.
Another Tesla. Basically. Okay, so Reese says, both, how many seasons of the podcast do you plan on doing?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Because we never think about it other than the current season that we're in.
Yeah.
I will be honest, as I said, I would like to see, as sure Trans will say the same words as me. I think personally, I think we'd like to see the seasons grow. We'd like to see new members. We'd like to see even bigger streamers to come on,
Mm-hmm.
just to get their reaction. Just we want to try and make a name for ourselves, but
Yeah.
we will never forget. I will promise you, we will never forget the small streamers community, and
No, not at all.
we'll never
Ever.
forget that, because the problem is when you go onto the big stage, they forget, and
Yes.
then they think they're millions of bucks, but they're not. They're not. They started
We
off as small.
Yeah, we want to always remember where we came from and always like keep in mind the small streamer community that we're a part of. But we want the podcast to get bigger. We want to grow our audience. We want to grow our streamers. We want to have bigger streamers coming in and talk about, where they came from, their starting and all that stuff, and help them. Well, part of it is we want to help them remember.
Yeah,
And part of it is we want to have the people coming in so that, we can talk and just have a good time. And then, like if we have a really big guest, we can say, oh, we got so-and-so on this episode, for you guys to be hyped up and excited about as well. But we really, we don't want to ever forget where we started and our roots ever. Our little first season audio issues.
oh god, yeah. I remember.
Struggling to get people in.
Oh my god! And
We
then you
don't want to
saw,
ever forget that.
and
We,
then
we
you
don't want to
saw,
forget where you started or how we started.
and then the dramatic three me's that I could see on myself, which Trans thought I was nuts. Then I had to show her a screenshot of it,
That was
and that was
crazy.
what.
I was like, what are you talking about? Malk is like, I can't get the video to work. It's
Yeah,
not working. I have you guys up. I can see you, but they can't see you.
yeah.
I'm like,
But
I can
so
see us. What are you talking about?
yeah, so all I saw was like me's across. I was like, this ain't right. So I don't know what reaction I'm getting, and then I had to like pretend I had to do another video, and it started to work. So I had to pretend I was not the host anymore. So
we want this. We want this to become We want this to become like a podcast where, yeah, you come for news, but you also come for a good time. And you also come to have fun and to chat with us and to enjoy just chilling with us because the time goes by so quick because we're having so much fun. We've already been doing it for 3 hours and 20 minutes, and it's crazy because at the
I'm
end of the episode, we're going to crash hard.
we
But
will.
right now, we got that energy going and and the show itself is such a great energy show and such a great feel. We want this to be a fun, wonderful place for people to come and have a good time and enjoy a little bit of laughs, a little bit of banter, a little bit of news, some
Yeah,
interesting, maybe learn about a new streamer, all that stuff. We want that.
that's and also it's just more of like the more streamers come on, the more they'll know about us, and they'll tell their mates, they'll tell their friends, their friends watch
Mhm.
the streams, and hopefully that will start the kickstart of it all.
Yeah.
But obviously, it takes time, and people keep forgetting it. It's not a quick process.
Not at all.
But obviously, we'll review each season. Do you think? Where do you think this is going to go right? Where do you think this is going to go wrong? Where do you think this? Where does the dog keep barking all the time? And
Oh, yeah.
do you know what I mean? Those
I
types of
can't
things.
separate her. It's just me and her right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean, don't you? It's like it's just the differences of like what to expect and what not to
Speaking of, you guys
expect.
haven't seen her on the camera yet, so it's puppy
Hey,
cameos. We have to have a puppy cameo. Hang on.
and
Come.
we do apologise for the people who are listening to the audio again. Trans keeps forgetting that.
Sorry about the audio, people. We're gonna have puppy moments here. Come. Akihime. Come. Up. Give
Puppy
hug.
cam for future streams.
Hug. She's stretching. She's debating on it. Hug. Come on. Up. Go say hi to friends. Say hi. Up. Come on, silly goose. Come here. There we go. There's our poppers. Yeah, there's my baby. There's my puppy. Oh, I love you. Oh, you're so cute. I had to show your cuteness to everybody. They had to see how cute you were. Yes. Okay, done. Okay, all done. Go play. Now we're good. Puppy cameo.
Puppy cam. So yeah, that's what you see is what you're gonna get.
Seriously, if you're on audio, why are you not watching us on video? You could have seen a really cute puppy.
That's true. That's true. Right. If there's any more questions, if not, we will stop the stream in Um, that's a good question.
That I can tell you right now, Reese. That question, she loves us each for different reasons.
So Reese has just asked the question, Akihime, who do you prefer, trans or boyfriend?
Mommy or
And
daddy.
yeah,
She loves
or
us each for different reasons.
definitely.
She
Well,
loves cuddling with daddy because he doesn't move as much as mommy does. She loves the fact that daddy plays rough with her like a puppy plays. But she also loves being near mommy because she gets lots of loving, lots of cuddles, lots of kisses, and we do a lot of fun stuff. So she likes us for different reasons. She loves us each for different reasons. Because me and my boyfriend talked about that. We're like, I don't think she has a favorite. I think she loves us each for different reasons.
no way. But basically, guys, I think, I think that's the time. It's the
I
time.
think that is. Hey, look, we
So
did it in 3 hours and 30 minutes, Malk.
I don't know. That's the
is
longest.
this is this a starting for a new thing? Under 4 hour shows?
Oh, oh, oh my God, no! You
Oh,
do that.
Reese.
Reese is not happy with you, trans.
That's okay.
Absolutely. Reese is not happy. Oh, never under 4 hours.
We need to
Never.
say we're going to try and keep it under 4 hours. Even my D&D games don't
You
go past
said
4
that.
hours, 4.5.
You said that,
We're
trans.
going to try. We're going to try. We'll see how
We.
it goes.
It's never gonna happen. We will hit over
We
4 hours
did
this
three. We're
season.
doing 3 hours and 30 minutes this episode, and you even did an interview with me. So there you go.
Could have been more. Could have been more, to be
You're
fair.
right.
So
So
improvement for
I'm going to I guess
Re Re.
reiterate the announcements from earlier.
Yeah.
Um so first off, guys, I'm gonna give the announcement at the end so you guys remember. I had the Patreon for my channel. You guys will be able to see this early if you subscribe on the Patreon. It's just Trans Gamer Girl. Search for it. It's there. Also, W Energy, w.gg, and use the code TRANSNATION at the end at checkout to actually get your 10% off of the code. And check out their stuff. They've got really cool stuff. They've even got really cool shakers. Even if you don't get an energy drink, get a shaker and some really cool freaking stickers. All their shakers are usually limited edition. And yeah, we've got games in the chat now. Pokemon community. Yeah, absolutely. And stream raiders, which we didn't do today, but we will be doing those on my streams. So
Yeah.
definitely will happen. Except for D&D Mondays, we don't do stream raiders because stream raiders is too much to manage while we're trying to go in and out of RP. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Reese has asked you a question, but I'm not answering mine.
he asked your question first. You answer.
But Reese asked you the last one, to be fair. So he's gonna
Yes,
keep going.
but Malk doesn't really have enough data to be able to give you that answer because he hasn't seen Akahime enough.
That's true. So I've
So
got to
he
pick
can't give you that
trans.
answer.
So I've got to pick
I,
trans.
however, have spent enough time with my puppy as well as Malk.
So
I love them both. Malk is a dear friend of mine. I love him as a friend. He's amazing. Wonderful friend. We've done a lot of shit together. Akahime is my baby girl. So she's my daughter. So I love her like my daughter. I
thanks very much.
can't tell you like a preferred because she doesn't talk back. She's great.
I
But she doesn't
can't
talk
bark.
back.
I can't bark.
And he can't bark. So they both have their pros and cons, man.
That's true. That's true.
Akahime also pisses mommy off sometimes because she's still very much puppy, and mommy gets very mad at her for doing very puppy-esque things. So
Oh dear.
Malk has never really pissed me off. I've never gotten mad at Malk. At least not to the point that I couldn't get over it. You know what I mean?
Thank God for that. Unless it was GTA racing, isn't it? Like
I still don't get mad at you in that.
no,
If
no.
you win, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh yeah, there's trans. She's still a trans on me. On that one.
I don't even get mad at you in GTA Racing. I have never actually
No.
gotten angry with Malk. Malk has never pissed me off to the point of me actually being legitimately angry at him.
I have achieved something that I've never pissed someone off. Thank God for that.
That's good.
I don't know how.
That's a good goal to have.
I know. Right, I'm stopping the podcast for season 3 while it lasts now. And Reese is going to kick off now.
Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
being here, Reese. RTK, Reese RTK, Basie popped in and said, hey. He went on his own stream now, so he's busy. We also had Retro Marine who popped in as well. Thank you so much for him. We had 5 subs. That was crazy. That was amazing. So Usagi subbed. Who else subbed? A bunch of people subbed. So thank you for all the subs. All the love to you guys. Thank you for everybody who decided to be here and hang out with us through the whole episode. You guys are the best. Y'all are MVPs. We love y'all so much. And we can't do this without you guys. So legitimately cannot do the podcast without you guys to talk to. So, I mean, we could. It'd just be very boring.
Well, that's true.
It wouldn't be as interesting. How about that?
Yeah, I would agree with that. So, for the final time of asking, thank you so much to everyone that's contributed to either watched or did the subscriptions, anything that's a bit of a boost to me and Trans for the return of the season.
Even the hydrates.
Even 30 hydrates from Reese, which burped in sync in one of them. Oh, that's epic.
That was perfect. We're going to clip that. That was great. I loved it.
You want my autograph for that now as well?
Totally. 100%.
See, I did. Yes, get in. So, like I say, can I just say thank you to everyone that's contributed to the stream, whether it's hydrates, 30, Reese from there, the subscriptions, anything to keep us occupied, and the questions and everything. I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend on the 15th of January 2023.
The 14th today. Don't make it a day early. It's the 14th.
Sorry, it was the 14th that was started, but now it's the 15th.
1-4.
To my case,
it's the 15th for him.
15th for me, the 14th still for Trans. But like I said, guys, thank you so much. We'll be back next week on the 21st.
And next week, we have our first guest for season 3.
Yes, we will have a guest.
We have Basie TV, who will be joining us again. He was here last year in season 2, and he's going to join us again this year. So we're going to have a lot of fun with him. He's fun. We have a great time. He's a great dude. And I popped in his channel recently, and he's done some upgrades to his channel. So
upgrades.
We get to hear what he's done since he last was with us last year. So that'll be fun. That'll be good stuff. Be good times.
Anyways, guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you all next week, all being well, on the 21st of January 2023.
Yes.
Right, take care of yourselves. Forgot to say thank you to the hostess with the most S.
And the host with the most, Malk. Thank you so much.
There you go. Bish Bash Bosh. Oh my gosh, it's the Bish Bash Bosh.
That's the tagline.
See, it always works.
We did it, man. We made it.
Well,
got tagline now.
You did that. Anyways, cheers, guys. Take care of yourselves. Ciao,
Bye, guys. Bye. All love. Bye.